Oh, sweet. Thanks, Plan B. Oh, sweet.
Thursday. Wayne Kernican was stuck at home during an excruciatingly long winter. He was what his parents believed to
Was
be
his
a
name
problem
Ween?
child, experiencing nightmares, arguing with his 7 siblings, and getting in trouble at school. His parents' method of punishment wasn't the best. Having gone on record to state that his father beats him with hockey sticks, it was undeniable that their humble abode in suburban Connecticut was less of a place of refuge for him, and more of a cell of torment.
Thanks, the
phone
resub
rings in the
snake.
kitchen, and his mom answers. It's from a school up north called Alon. The man on the phone says that Wayne should come right away, and that they'll have a private jet waiting for him at Danbury Airport.
What a good deal.
His mom tells him not to worry,
Wow.
and that it's more of an outdoor camp type thing that'll make him better. According to the flyer she read, it was proven with a 95% success rate, and their alumni were all leaving as better people than when they first arrived there. Counselors, psychiatrists, activities, friends. Alon had it all, he was told. And so Wayne packed up his stuff that night. Eager, sure. Nervous, yes. But absolutely awaiting the things to come.
Thanks, the resub Chuba.
The plane touches down in Portland, Maine. 2 men greet him. After embarking for the school 30 minutes north in Poland, his escorts inquire on why he was sent there.
Who made this vid? It's Nexpo.
Drugs?
Nope.
Court order?
No.
So why the hell are you going?
They joke. And then things get quiet.
I
It
keep
was
seeing
at
this one's
moment
fucked up.
When Wayne began to question whether he
Why?
was going to the place he thought he was.
Cults are known to be pretty
Something
cool.
didn't seem right, but he was willing to give it the benefit of the doubt.
Thanks, the Prime Soap. And the resub
The two
Crunky.
pull off a back, wooded road into a clearing. Looks like a camp, he thinks. However, when he exits the vehicle, he isn't greeted with the silent serenity of nature, but instead, the screaming.
Yeah, but that could mean anything. I scream when I'm having a lot of fun. Like, yeehaw, we're having fun. Yeah, I saw the American Horror Story cult season. American Horror Story is the best shitty show.
The 1970s were an interesting time. Across the United States, a rise in for-profit behavior modification facilities were in action. Now called the troubled teen or tough love industry, it seemed to be a money machine aimed at altering and stifling troublesome behavior in adolescents.
Well,
The
someone's
exact
got
date is
to.
hard to gauge due to the widely varying nature of the names, motives, and specialties of each of these schools, but they were widespread and only became more so throughout the 80s. It's widely believed that the parental reception to the era's youth were the catalyst for facilities like this. Given that this was the decade following the rise of the hippie subculture, authority was and had been challenged for years.
Whoa! That facial hair is kind of nutty. That looks cool. It's like Wolverine, but not cool like Wolverine's. It's like a little cushion. That's nice. That's like an OG neckbeard.
Resulting in a sort of panic among older generations. Resultingly, in early 1970, a psychiatrist
Thanks to
named Gerald
resub
Davidson,
Finca.
alongside investor David Goldberg and a man named Joseph Ritchie, would band together to create a school named Alon, a private co-ed behavior modification program geared from grade 8 to beyond high school. Richie billed the facility as one that would correct bad behavior by teens without punishment, while painting himself as a genuine mentor that could help make that happen.
They had a
Sitting on
website?
33 acres of land off of Number 5 Road in Poland, Maine, Elan's main campus was highly secluded and a long shot from any outside civilization. With numerous facilities in place, the school was well equipped to handle a student body in the hundreds, and within the span of just 1 year, they'd eventually meet that metric. Numerous alumni, much like Wayne, have gone on record to state that their initial, outside impression of the school was that it was like a summer camp in the Maine woods. However,
Looks like a
upon
summer
arrival,
camp.
reality would paint a different picture. Allegedly, the final minutes of the trip there were unforgettable, with Elan being
Thank you,
shrouded
resub.
down a long dirt
Jibu
road
Honey.
in the middle of the wilderness, and made up of rundown trailers and buildings, giving it a frightening feeling of dread. Furthermore, some have stated
It does
that
look like
once they
Crystal
exit
Lake.
the vehicle expecting a lively campground, they're instead faced with a sight much stranger. Some students were spotted wearing degrading signs, some shackled in handcuffs,
What?
some being yelled at, and bizarrely, everyone would just pretend it's normal. At this point,
They
it's been
take
noted
discipline
that
very
some students
seriously.
attempt to flee. They weren't entirely sure what the Elan school was, but it was clear to them that it wasn't good. These escape efforts were always futile though, as Elan stationed guards around the campus to chase and subdue outliers that would attempt this. Considering how the school was marketed, touting itself as an altruistic institution genuinely concerned with helping troubled teenagers get better, it was clear from the outside that those claims were a reach.
Is that Charles Manson teaching the class?
But
Man, they got
just how far
celebrities,
would they take
teachers.
that?
Good for them.
What most students were unaware of was that behind their back, a deal was made on their behalf. With nothing but a simple signature
Thanks,
and
Lisa
payment,
Pooperoonie.
parents could sign their child's life over to Elan, which advertised itself as a positive, reaffirming center of growth. According to an excerpt from an early 2000s archive of their website, we can observe the vernacular
this is pretty
they used to
recent.
appeal to each parent. Dear parents, we're very aware of how lonely and confused you must feel as you sit down to read this. If you're like the parents of most of our students, you're faced with an adolescent whose behavior is out of control, and you don't know why. A youngster who's been given everything and is throwing it all away is difficult to understand, but you can see that this process is progressive. The most saddening part is knowing that your offspring is ruining his or her future. Your own pain is difficult, but your pain for your child is unbearable.
Yeah, they're not reaching their
By
full
coming to
potential.
Elan, you have come to a truly different school. We can't offer you miracles, but we can offer you hope. We know that your journey to this point has been painful. We hope Elan can change its course. On top of this, school staff were known to hand out flyers to parents while persuading them that their child just might be troubled. It's been noted that Joseph Ritchie was somewhat of a salesman. He was charismatic and excelled at convincing parents of all the good that Elan could do for their kids. The good that, as we'll soon find, was all a lie. I'd like to let it be known that Wayne's Elan admission story was on the lighter side. For most of the other students, things were handled a bit more violently. Instead of a plane, school alumni have gone on record to state that they were transported by van. Reportedly, once your parents agreed to send you off to Elan and pay the $50,000 tuition fee, they designated time and date with Elan's so-called teen escort service. They
Wow.
won't pick you up during the day, though. Instead, in the middle of the night when you're
Why,
fast
though?
asleep, they would bust through your door and kidnap you.
Why?
In years past, Elan staff have stated that since the child has no say in attending, their capture hinges on the element of surprise.
Okay.
According to a blog named Suzuki's Thoughts, the abduction process involves two
So are
men
these
breaking
just
into the teen's
stories
bedroom,
what?
physically subduing them.
Are these just stories this guy makes up? What? No, what? Is all you read creepypastas? Why would he make up a 52-minute story and make websites to corroborate it and evidence and stuff? It's just like a history lesson that's well presented.
Tying them up with plastic handcuffs, throwing them into a van, and then driving them to Poland, Maine, where they'd be handed over to the Elan school. Such experiences often traumatized the teens who were abducted. For all they knew at first, they were being taken by criminals to be held ransom, tortured, or worse, killed. For the girls, it was even more terrifying. Some girls later recalled that they believed that they were going to be
Raped, sexually assaulted.
and murdered by their
Tier
abductors.
1 kindy.
One certainly can't blame the kids for thinking this way. Such practices had all the hallmarks of a violent kidnapping. This practice became notorious around the United States, eventually earning its nickname, the Elan Snatch. If this
So this
were
was
any
so
indication,
well known that it had
was
its
clear
own
that
name?
Morality wasn't the school's strong suit. But that ultimately begs the question, would it stop there? Or was their torment only just beginning?
Thanks to resub Zillizy. The 70s, man? What are you talking about? This was in 2000. They have a fucking website. Had a website.
Day 1. Students would typically arrive to Elan during the early morning hours of the day.
Oh,
Due
it
to the
started
nature
in
of
the
their transport
70s.
to
Oh,
campus,
gotcha.
they were
I see what
often
you're
known
saying.
to resist their escorts.
I see what you're saying,
It's been
sorry.
noted that their capture was designed this way, utilizing their escape attempt against them as a tool to convey that no matter what, they're not getting out of there. And with this came the first steps of dehumanization, instilling the feeling that their basic rights have been robbed of them, in turn making them feel like less of a student
Thanks to resub
and
Zugi.
more like a prisoner.
Well, they did just get
This
kidnapped.
sentiment was taken even further when they're physically taken inside the school. Often, the first stop would be the dormitory showers, which served as a tool in robbing each student of their sense of individuality. Reportedly, students are thrown into them with absolutely no privacy and are demanded to remove all of their clothing and valuable items. After complying, they're given what Elan calls no-image clothing, which, as the name implies, simply includes a bland, colorless shirt and pants, effectively forcing them into a state of conformity.
Well, let's not get carried away. A
Following
white
this,
t-shirt's pretty
each new
cool.
student would be taken into a common area where they're
I
assigned
wouldn't
what Elan
necessarily
calls
look
a
too
big
deep
brother.
into that.
This, in essence, was a tenured student designated to be a guide. On paper, they were told to help their students adjust to their new life on campus, somewhat like a peer, while educating them on how great and effective the program is. In reality, though, this relationship was far from friendly. It's been reported that big brothers would often try to deceive their newer counterparts, enticing them to run away or to break the rules. If the student had ever agreed or attempted to listen to this, their behavior would be reported to school staff, resulting in punishment. As we've seen in studies like the Stanford prison experiment, I'm sure you can see why this would be a bad idea.
I don't know that experiment.
Oftentimes, big brother figures, much like staff, would take great pleasure in exerting their superiority over the newer students. It fulfilled them in a way that was almost cult-like.
Yes, you do. I don't know that one. Hey, well, thank you for that, Stove. I heard about the Alan Wake announcement. I'm excited. Looks like the house from Promised Neverland.
Nobody use responsibility. You gotta clean the bathroom this morning, man. Yeah, you should remember next time. Cause it's off the wall. I guess you clean out the showers too. Every one of them uses the showers. You're just being irresponsible.
If you want to act like a baby, you get screamed at. If you want to act as more like a mature adolescent, you get talked to.
Oh, so I was like, wait, what?
Speaking of cults,
Was that footage from Elon University? Is it Elon or Elan? I don't know how to say it. Either way. But didn't he just say that they were forced to wear, like, the colorless shirts? Thanks to the resub, Jeski, Coral, Pablo, and Prime Bus. Because that guy, like, that second guy, he's kind of dripped out. He's got a chain on. He's got a red button up. Oh, that was staff. Gotcha.
The social hierarchy at Elan is structured in a way that heavily resembles one. At the school, students are
Professor
immediately
Snape.
placed into two categories. Strengths, which were tenured, obedient students that were a few steps up the totem pole, and non-strengths, the newer ones who typically resisted treatment. Strengths were allowed to talk to fellow strengths and non-strengths. Non-strengths, on the other hand, were only permitted to communicate with strengths. If a non-strength were caught communicating with a non-strength, harsh punishment would soon greet them.
Thanks to resub mob. And the 2K bit Sam, I appreciate that.
The Elan School, as we've established, thrives on
that.
the feeling of hopelessness. Throughout students' tenures there, they were forbidden to contact anyone from the outside world unless they've earned the privilege through good behavior and compliance. Every single phone line from campus would run through a single switchboard located in this small trailer, and it was heavily guarded because of that. If a student were to gain the privilege of contacting their family, it's been reported that they're heavily monitored, only permitted to praise the school for all the good it's done to help them during their time there. If they ever were to be caught telling the truth or revealing the atrocities that occur behind the scenes, they were quickly disconnected, reprimanded, and robbed of any future potential.
So if this is
to use
supposed
the
to be a
phone lines
scam,
ever again.
I feel like this is a lot more effort than just
On top
not
of the phone manipulation,
doing this.
every Elan resident was required
It seems like
to
so
write
much
what
more
the school
work to
calls
abuse the
a guilt
kids.
letter, which, as you might expect, is an explanation of how great the Elan School is for them, all the great activities they do there, and how well they're progressing through the program. These letters would be heavily scrutinized before being mailed out to their parents. Effectively, this tactic's goal was twofold: to allow Elan's facade to remain in place,
Thanks to resub Hoof,
and to entice
Chris,
their
and 5
parents
gifts
to
of
spend more
Sage,
money
and
on their
Tier 1
treatment,
Aria.
in turn keeping them there
Thank you,
even
Sage.
longer than they had ever planned to.
Resub Akrai.
In reality, students were helpless, being abused, and in most
Yeah, I
cases,
get that it's a cult,
verbally
but usually
tortured
cults have
with
a
the pleasure
purpose.
of the Elan School staff. It was clear to students that they weren't getting away from this anytime soon, and after realizing this, their minds would often pivot away from rebellion and towards compliance in hopes of power.
Yeah,
through the
money.
program.
That's why I would think
This
they'd want to
school
run a
was to them
scam
to
as
become
opposed to a
someone
cult, and it'd be so much
brainwashed,
easier to
ultimately stuck
not
in a
abuse the
system that will
kids.
do
Takes a lot
everything
more
it
work to
possibly
do that, I
can
imagine.
to make their escape impossible.
So I'm assuming there is a point to the cult, like they want to turn these kids into like super soldiers or something. I don't really know. But if it was just a scam, they're putting a lot of work into it. Whereas they could just take the kids here for $50K a year and
As
just
you
let
might
them play
expect,
basketball
the
and
rules
sleep.
at the Elan School were immense, exerting nearly totalitarian control over everything that happens. Joe Ritchie's set of rules, which he called guilt, was gargantuan and needlessly meticulous.
Thank you, Tier 1 Weelu.
As a student at Elan, you would be expected to refrain from doing the following: having any image, reading as a non-strength, not completing learning experiences, writing without permission, being sideways,
Don't know what
looking
that
at
means.
security zones, non-strength interacting, talking too loudly, talking too softly, looking at the opposite gender,
Whoa.
being attracted to someone,
Whoa.
any physical contact, looking out windows,
What?
unauthorized drawing, not listening to higher
Holy
ranks,
shit.
pretending to sleep at night, thinking of running away, being in the bathroom for too long, wearing dark clothing, being manipulative, being lazy while working, listening to music, talking too much, showering for
All
more
in
than
all, they're
10
pretty
minutes,
lenient.
not talking enough, making facial reactions to orders, negative body language, pretending not to have guilt, oversleeping, undersleeping, smiling, and the list goes on and on.
That's not bad.
Clearly, these rules were not designed to be followed.
Basically a lawless
causing
place
harsh
over there.
penalizations to become commonplace. To help enforce
Thanks
these,
to Resub
individuals
Integra
known
and
as
Razzle Dazzle.
expediters were designated by the school to stand on watch with clipboards. Primarily, they were known to catch those that broke 3 rules: being attracted to members
Thanks
of
to
the
Gift
opposite
Sub Uzi.
gender, looking at the opposite gender, and making prolonged eye contact with anyone else. Since Expeditors too were required to fill their clipboards with names and infractions at the risk of their own punishment, They frequently and unapologetically made assumptions and accusations that were a lie.
There's a do give subs arc.
As you'd expect, punishment varied pretty heavily at Elan, and not in a good way. One example involved requiring a group of students to live in a dumpster for over 2 weeks.
Whoa.
The expediter watching them was tasked with ensuring compliance and preventing any attempt to escape. If their subordinates acted out, however, the expediter on duty would be forced to live in the dumpster with them while being monitored by yet another who was up to the task. Another major tactic at Elan was humiliation. They figured that by breaking down their social barrier, forcing students into extreme embarrassment, they could drive them to a point of total compliance. Those who tried to escape were often labeled as a split risk, and their punishment for doing so was confiscation of their shoelaces and the requirement to wear a bright yellow t-shirt and short pink shorts. The school figured that without laces, their shoes were effectively useless, in turn preventing any ability to move any faster than a walk.
What is it, like barbed wire on the ground or something?
Risk punishment
Just go barefoot.
is shown with this student. Instead of a t-shirt and shorts though, he was forced to wear a bright pink rabbit suit with cuffs around his legs. It's unclear if this is a repeat offender, but it raises the question as to how far Elan would actually go with this tactic.
Thanks to Resub Hunter.
Students that smiled at a place were punished by wearing dunce caps and reduced to work that the school calls shot down. These involved repetitious, dull tasks like mopping floors, scrubbing the insides of trash cans, and even cleaning toilets with just a single toothbrush.
Man, if I went to one of these fucking schools, if my parents sent me here, I would never forgive them.
It's been noted that approval by sometimes 6 or more superiors was required before you were able. And even then, an escort had to watch you while you were in there. This, on top of a myriad of other degrading punishments, like humiliating sign and diaper wearing, it's clear that Elan kept an iron grip on their daily operations. Their daily operations that took up most of the daily schedule, and those that were deceptively named by the Elan school themselves as their treatment.
Makes it a bit savage. Give sub Ethan.
But I will say, all of these punishments are relatively tame compared to what we're about to talk about. Let's just say, if you pissed off a staff member, they could start something called a general meeting on you. And trust me, you wouldn't want one.
That doesn't sound so intense. Well, we're just gonna debate, huh?
There seemed to be no standard for them. They would just happen at random, multiple times each day. If staff were annoyed or felt like targeting a specific student for some reason, they could call a general meeting at any time. Once these words were uttered, everyone in the building would be required to gather in front of the student in whichever room they were in. "Get your feelings off," the administrator screams. And following this, each student in the room would begin screaming at and berating the student, firing off slurs and obscenities.
Oh, so it's like Twitter.
No matter how much
pretty innovative
pled for everyone to stop, no matter how much they broke down, no matter how much they cried, general meetings would not end until the admin said so. And when it finally did, the victim would lie there, often crying and exhausted at the relentless abuse that they'd just endured. It's clear that general meetings aren't designed to reprimand. They're designed to completely break each and every student that's the subject of one. And with this, we can effectively put the points together that Elan was doing nothing more than running an operation that commanded total compliance. Any self-thought or sliver of independence that students thought they had was gone. They were merely reduced to weapons. Weapons that, at a moment's notice, could just as easily be used against them. "7 p.m.
Are they also haunted by vampires or something too? Like, how much worse can it get? Fucking werewolves or something?
On academia and outside marketing, school time within Elan was secondhand to the students' treatment. Typically, the time frame for learning was 7 to 11 p.m., but sometimes could run longer. As you might expect, there were no extracurriculars, no physical education,
Squish
no
in the resub
projects,
Kuckaroo,
no
Zero,
legitimate
and Gengar.
exams, nothing. Instead, students were required to grade themselves on work that they were self-assigned with absolutely no direction. The structure of class typically involved a staff member supervising a room full of children. Each night of learning involved completing work out of freshman-level textbooks, which, unsurprisingly for a group of teenagers, would be immensely uneventful. Given that class time was after a long day full of verbal abuse, monotonous tasks, and a hierarchy system that does nothing but suffocate the lower classes, students dozing off and losing track of their work was expected. Curiously, school time too was regarded as a privilege at Elan.
I guess
Joe Ritchie has gone on record to state that the class schedule itself was designed this way on purpose. Allegedly, he believes students were easier to control while sleep-deprived and utilized even this as a medium to work against them. By 11 p.m., if a student makes it through a night of work without issue, school hours then draw to a close.
Not bad.
They're quickly released from class and escorted to their dorms, which were often in the form of uncomfortable, impersonal, military-style bunk beds.
That's military style? A piece of wood?
Sleep was known to be difficult, as designated students named night owls were assigned to stand guard with flashlights. In regular intervals, they'd shine them on the sleeping students to both ensure that they hadn't escaped and to secure the fact that they're actually asleep.
What?
A requirement that, as we can recall, was also in the list of Elan's rules. And if one actually manages to calm their nerves, dozing off into their only time of tranquility, that would allow them to effectively place the cap on a day in the nightmare. That is Elan.
Exit Prime, Avanoth, True Toxic, and the 10 gift subs, Nataroni. Thank you, Nataroni. I want to look something up real quick. I'm curious. Let me see something. I don't want to spoil anything, but I do want to see something. I just want to see if, like, the main guy behind it's still alive, but I don't want it to be a spoiler either. His name was, like, Joe something, and I forgot, so I'm trying to find it. It says, I don't think it's Joe Rogan, but it keeps wanting me to type in Joe Rogan. It was like Joe something. Richie, that's what it was. Thank you. He's dead. Damn. Thanks to Prime Tarkus and the resub Paranoid and Cookies and the Tier 1 Matt.
And then you get to do it all over again. A notorious aspect of Elan, among everything else that happened there, was something called the Ring. Considered the highest level of punishment, Elan staff could make the call to start the Ring at any time. The structure was set up similar to that of a general meeting, and was typically commenced when school staff believed that the punishment wasn't harsh enough for a specific student.
Well, I gave them safety equipment.
In the Ring, a student's designated as a bully and is outfitted with a face guard and gloves. Surrounding them are troves of others that are commanded to scream and yell obscenities at them. While this is taking place, specific students will be chosen to compete against the bully in numerous fistfights until school staff decided that they were sufficiently injured. No one was safe from the Ring either. Some bore pre-existing injuries, some were much smaller than their opponent, and some were even pregnant.
Wait, what?
Even worse, things seemed to be treated like a game, with superiors commentating.
This is only up to high school.
TV. In reality,
how are the...
This was the furthest...
Wait, I'm super curious then. So how were some of them pregnant? Because you're not even allowed to look at the opposite gender, and assuming that you lived here for a year, how would you get pregnant? That makes no sense to me. I guess if they could have arrived pregnant, which would check out. Staff? Oh, I see what you're saying, by the staff. Right. Exit prime material. I keep forgetting that there's actual adults behind this, because it looks like, it sounds like they literally only appoint the students to do everything here. It's like Lord of the Flies.
This thing from TV. This was handcrafted abuse. Alon was meticulous about orchestrating fights for the ring, too. It's been noted that certain students would regularly be punished for another's actions, effectively engineering anger between them. This was often noticed between big brothers and their subordinates, as they'd be punished for the actions of their newer counterparts. And once they were angry enough, a ring fight would commence, often injuring students so badly that they'd sustain permanent brain damage, PTSD, and even death.
It costs $17,400 to send the average youngster to Elan for 1 year. Even at that price, there are judges, social workers, and parents who consider it a bargain. Elan's defenders claim it has the most consistently effective program for salvaging young people who are too difficult for other facilities to handle. So many states want to use Elan that there's a waiting list. But on the other hand, one state agency in Massachusetts will no longer send their youngsters here because they object to the way the children are treated. One reason is the use of physical punishment. Joe, you make no bones about it. There is corporal punishment here at Elan. Tell us about it. What are the stages it comes in? Who's it administered by?
Well, it's administered by the kids, first of all. Corporal, it's a harsh term, okay? What it is we have the ring, okay, which...
Oh, he's super open about it.
Misinterprets. It's not a boxing ring. It's a ring of human people. The bully is introduced as what he is. In this corner is the bully who's trying to turn this facility into a detention center. Okay? And in this corner is the house champion who's going to show him why it can't be done. And that's exactly how it does. And we never allow the bully to win.
But girls get put in the ring, too.
Well, girls bully as well as boys do. I mean, you know, it doesn't... You know, we're a equal rights facility.
Oh, that's progressive. Okay.
Spanking, which is symbolic. Again, it's a last resort. Okay,
wow.
and it's one resident spanking another resident, and it's done with a ping pong paddle. Okay, and usually a person won't get spanked more than once or twice, but it's a symbolic thing, which is if you're going to act like a baby, you should be treated like a baby.
On December
so he is just super open about it.
A 15-year-old Elan student named Philip Williams was placed into the ring. He wasn't the largest kid there, but he was known to do what he could to put up a fight. He had grown up in a family of division, regularly witnessing his father physically abuse his mother. With this, there was an anger within him, a sadness that Elan noticed and wanted to exploit. And so, that evening, a ring session commenced with Phil as the bully. There was fight after fight after fight. In the end, it's been reported that he was beaten up so badly that he fell flat on the floor, and it took an entire 20 minutes before an ambulance was called to help him. 20 minutes or so they called the ambulance. They took Phil and they never saw him again. His sister claims, "I thought it was a wonderful place. I thought they were helping my brother. I thought he was coming home."
How can you think that when they actually kidnapped him?
In a box.
I don't get that delusion.
Elan's
Their technique was to kidnap
was
them.
That he had regularly faked headaches. The cause of death? A brain aneurysm. And no charges were ever filed against them. It's been clear to us from the beginning that Elan is not a place of good. From humiliation to beratement to physical abuse, Elan's tactics were archaic
Exit Tier 1
and
Ryan
inhumane.
and the resub Connor.
For a school that markets itself on academia, on helping students get their lives back on track, it's crystal clear that this has never been the motive. What I find interesting, though, is that Elan wasn't even the first to utilize this type of therapy, this attack therapy. In fact, it has its roots in a cult that found its footing all the way back in the mid-1950s.
Thanks to Tier 1 Awesome Pie Man.
That cult is one by the name of Synanon.
Never heard of it, and I know a lot of cults.
County, with a warrant to investigate reports of child abuse.
In recent years, Synanon began calling itself a religion.
He's 52 years old. He's deaf in one ear. He's an egomaniac. But one of the wisest persons that I've ever met in my life.
He knows how to get people moving. He creates turbulence.
Gentlemen,
As the
until
Prime
further
Bone
notice,
Scope.
no member of the California Department of Corrections is permitted on Synanon property unless he has the express permission of Charles D.
Very cool
Chairman,
spectacles.
Synanon.
What is he, a fighter pilot?
In early 1958, a man by the name of Charles Dedrick Sr. would found the group in Santa Monica, California. It was intended to be a drug rehabilitation program aimed at delinquents. However, in the years that followed, it appeared to stray from that mission entirely. The distinguishing form of therapy employed by Synanon was something called the game, which, in today's terms, is more commonly known as attack therapy. The focus of the game was
It's a
to
really
break down the
weird
social
title for it.
construct of an individual's mind by first
Attack
allowing them
therapy?
to open up about themselves before commencing an aggressive beratement session, much like we discussed earlier with general meetings. The primary goal was to recreate someone's personality and sense of self by completely demolishing
Thanks for
everything
gifts
they
again,
know about
Remy.
themselves
The resub
before
mango.
rebuilding them as a newer, subjectively better person. It hinged on the brink of legality while being entirely immoral. And, unsurprisingly, by 1991, the cult would disband due to criminal convictions that caught up to many of their members. The founder also died just 6 years later, leaving behind a dark legacy that, to this day, is known as one of the most dangerous and violent cults that America has ever seen.
That's weird. I've never heard of him.
This is, of course, the abridged history. To be honest with you, I could make an entire hour-long video on the operations and practices of Synanon.
Oh, they look like they're having
That's a story
fun.
for another day. If there's one takeaway tonight, though, it's that it unknowingly
Fucking
served as an
groovin'.
inspiration and blueprint for other institutions to follow. One of those being Elan, and by utilizing similar practices, they appeared to carry the torch that Synanon was forced to abandon. They knew they had to keep up appearances too, thriving off an immaculate public
Like the
image,
Brian
spearheaded
Mihu?
by the charisma of Joe Ritchie.
Joe.
Before the age of the internet, admittedly this
Man's
was
built
easier
like
to
your
do.
grandmother.
Television documentaries like NBC's For the Child's Own Good were seemingly the only inside look that the public was allowed to gain. However, even they failed to convey the true extent of what happened there. The hush-hush foundation that Elan was built upon initially seemed to be unbreakable. However, due to a rise in public attention that would soon find its way there, it was becoming increasingly apparent that the cracks beneath that very foundation were merely beginning to form.
Is it Prime Pink? Why didn't they fight back? Brother kids. What do you mean?
Through the late 70s and into the early 80s, reports of the true nature of Elan began to spread by word of mouth from former students. Authorities in Maine reportedly visited the school upwards of 12 times to investigate, however returned with absolutely nothing to show for it. Frustratingly, the operation that Joe Ritchie was running was completely and entirely legal. There were no laws in place for facilities like this, so it was allowed to remain in operation without issue. As we touched on, the media was the primary in for outsiders
Prime
at Elan.
Squub
However,
and
even they failed to
Choco.
communicate the extent of their operations. While they showed select parts of it, unfortunately Joe Ritchie was given enough airtime to convince the public and the news crew that it was nothing more than their treatment taking place. By dehumanizing the students, emphasizing their delinquencies on national television, he was able to use this notoriety to his advantage, ultimately swaying the public opinion into believing that what he was doing was entirely good. On top of the growing number of alumni, though, came an increase in escapees, which only furthered Elan's unwanted infamy. Over the years, 3 students, a 16-year-old unidentified individual,
nice.
a 15-year-old Brad Glickman,
good work,
and a 17-year-old Don Birnbaum would all escape successfully, however would meet wildly differing fates.
Oh.
For the 16-year-old, it's been reported that he ran over 15 miles through the wilderness in the middle of the night. He was eventually caught by an officer, Max Ashburn, and after hearing the boy's story and observing his physical condition, he helped him return home.
What a good guy!
For Brad Glickman, he was shot.
Oh.
In 1990, after escaping Elan's search parties, he made his way to a house in a small town. Authorities believed that he had a connection to the girl that lived there. However, the homeowner opened fire, ultimately killing him.
What? What? That's like the most American shit I've ever heard in my life. This guy must know my daughter. Like, what? Jesus Christ. Actually, 2 gift subs Kill Command and the resub Terra in Tier 1 Summer.
And for Don Birnbaum,
how unlucky,
too had escaped the clutches of Elan, eventually finding a trucker named James Cruz who was willing to take her home. A few hours down the road, though, Birnbaum would find that Cruz's true intentions weren't quite so virtuous.
Oh, Jesus.
As it turned out, he sexually assaulted her on the side of the highway before strangling and abandoning her body between routes 26 and 550 in Pennsylvania. She was discovered by another motorist with a yellow rope tied around her neck and without clothes from the waist down. And from her corpse were tire tracks resembling that of a semi-trailer. Since Birnbaum had crossed state lines, an FBI investigation was commenced for her, and after cross-checking with numerous similar cases that have happened in the area, the truck belonging to James Cruz was deemed as the culprit. Upon catching up to him and searching his vehicle, authorities were able to find but a single blonde hair that belonged to Birnbaum, effectively leading to his arrest.
That's incredible detective work. Like, just think about that for a second. This is in the middle of fucking nowhere. Random trucker picks up a random student, well, student's the wrong word, random person from a cult, and they somehow tracked it down to the right guy who did it. That is incredible.
What's incredible?
Just the detective work here. There's a Tier 1 pack. And the resub Juke and the Prime Scary Man, and the resub Genius and Virgin Shadow. What?
A cult in a boarding school?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it is pretty wild. What are you doing?
What do you think I'm doing? Just watching One Piece.
Okay, well, have fun.
I'm not even playing any games right now.
Well, that's fine. Yeah, you're in a good arc. You're having fun.
It's a really good arc. It really is.
Thanks to the resub Side Jellyfish.
Hi, chat. I'm seeing all the hellos, but I can't read too much past that because my glasses are not on. Anyways, I'm gonna go back to that.
Okay, well, have fun.
Much to the school's displeasure, these cases successfully gained ample attention. Joe Ritchie resultingly paid off numerous judges and journalists in hopes of drowning out the negative press.
Thanks to Prime Proximity.
However, outsiders were beginning to catch on that these students were running for a reason.
Quick text message.
But why?
There we go. Okay. All good. Thanks to the resub Adventure Creature Mumbling Plot and the Prime
30th,
Nico.
1975, a 15-year-old girl named Martha Moxley was out with her friends participating in what they call Mischief Night. This typically involved TPing houses, ding-dong ditching, typical teenager antics. Later that night, Moxley found a liking to a Thomas Skakel, eventually kissing him before the pair decided to venture off. To the other friends in their group, seeing Moxley fall over the Skakel's backyard fence with Thomas was the very last time that they would ever see her alive. The next morning, the Moxley family awakens as usual. They go about their morning routine, however notice that Martha is missing. Upon searching the house for her, they notice a body lying by the tree out in the backyard.
And
They
don't really
approach
have
it
one stoner boner.
and discover a grim scene. Martha is lying, lifeless with her pants down. Her body appears to have been visibly beaten, and a few feet away from the body, broken remnants of a 6-iron golf club.
Holy
This
shit.
club was eventually traced back to the Skakel family. Autopsy reports claimed that she was bludgeoned and stabbed to death, all by that 6-iron. And since Thomas Skakel was the last person she was spotted with that night, he was the prime suspect in her murder. Due to a lack of sufficient evidence, however, he, among the other suspects, were eventually absolved.
What?
And as a result, the Moxley case, frustratingly, went cold.
Thanks to Tier 1 Rowie and the Risa Brian.
Three years later. Thomas's 18-year-old brother named Michael Skakel is arrested for drunk driving.
What a great
His
family,
punishment?
all around.
Admission to Elan. While there, Skakel was known to be problematic and outspoken. According to Elan students at the time, he would regularly boast about a girl named Martha and how he sexually assaulted and killed her. One student named Gregory Coleman,
What a weird thing to
recalls this
brag about.
vividly, recounting how Michael had gone on record to state that, "I'm going to get away with murder. I'm a Kennedy." The Kennedy reference was alluding to his relation to Robert F. Kennedy,
What?
something that would prove pivotal in
What?
launching his eventual trial to the national spotlight. At the time of his confession, though, nobody could do anything about it. Given the overbearing nature of the rules set at school, any student that tried to tell someone about this was quickly reprimanded. It would take an entire 22 years before Skakel's actions would reach the public eye. In January of 2000, he was arrested and charged with the murder of Martha Moxley, and due to his relation to the Kennedys, it was a case that commanded the airwaves. Since Skakel's primary vehicle of bragging about his crimes was Elan, this, by proxy, had also thrust the school into the national spotlight.
Thanks to resub
Dozens of
Virtue.
students took the stand, exposing the callousness that occurred there. The humiliation, the general meetings, the beatings, the ring, the deaths, all of it was brought into the public eye. Realizing this, Joe Ritchie did everything he possibly could to keep discussion about his operation to a minimum.
He looks like Neil
He
Breen.
eventually took the stand, downplaying any mention of Elan, touting its high success rate, and doing
Thanks for
everything he
doink.
possibly could to divert the attention back to Skakel
And hope you like God
and
Slap
Skakel
Creamy.
only. But this was only marginally effective, as this was in the 2000s. An interconnected era of information catalyzed by a little something called the internet.
That piece of shit, huh?
Michael Skakel was eventually found guilty of the murder and was sentenced to 20 years to life in prison. After serving just 11 years behind bars, he was granted a new trial in 2013, in which he was let go after posting a $1.2 million bond.
Oh, Jesus.
Today, he walks a free man. But
Thank you,
back
Tier
then,
1
the
Sarcastic.
cat
And
was
the
out of the
resub
bag.
Phil Swift and
The
Stick.
inhumanities committed at the Elan School were documented in one of the most high-profile cases in decades. And because of this, people began talking, theorizing, and investigating, effectively marking the beginning of the end of Joe Ritchie's iron grip on the hundreds of students that were helpless beneath him.
Thanks to the resub Nathan and the Prime Green Gorilla and Tuga sub Sarcastic.
But with his weakening grasp on the media surrounding his operation came a different hurdle that Joe Ritchie would soon have to overcome. In June of 2000, he was diagnosed with lung cancer caused by his well-known addiction to cigarettes. And just 6 months later, on the 29th of January 2001, Joe Ritchie would pass away in Portland, Maine at 54 years old. As a result, his second wife, Sharon Terry, would take over operations at Elan. It was clear, though, that due to the increased publicity among the rising alumni testimonies, the idea of Terry having a lot of PR work on her plate was putting it lightly. Throughout the years, numerous changes would be put in place in response to
Hold on, someone just said something. Skakel is in jail, by the way. His conviction got reinstated in 2016. Thanks to some Monty, geo expert in chasing bubbles. Well, this video is brand new, and he said that he's a free man. Let me see. Let's take a peek. I don't see anything about him going back to jail. Yeah, there's nothing about him going back to jail. Literally nothing. It got reinstated, just exonerated in 2020. Not true, sarcastic. Exit tier 1 dub nuggets. Check the wiki. Check the the fucking Skakel wiki? What are you talking about, man? What wiki? October 30th, 2020. Michael Skakel won't fit. Oh my god. I hate when I hate modern journalism where you have to turn off ad block. Yeah, I don't see anything about him going back to jail. I see what you're talking about in 2016, though, where they reinstated the murder conviction, but then in 2018, it seems they vacated it.
Outside criticism of the Elan school.
And Granny.
For instance, the ring was eventually forbidden from being used as punishment. And while this was substantially a good thing, the other cruelties would remain. What Sharon Terry was unaware of, though, was that due to the rapid rise in technology, namely the internet, even her reign over Elan would soon meet its demise. When the water settled following the Skakel case, mentions of Elan were made on various forums throughout the next few years. They would get people talking. However, it wasn't quite enough for definite action. By 2010, though, something would change. A website that we all know very well would help spearhead one of the most effective exposed stories in the history of the internet.
I want to take a guess. I don't know the story, but I want to guess. Is it Something Awful? Something Awful used to be pretty powerful. No way, is it Reddit? God damn it.
That website was Reddit.
Son of a bitch!
On November 26th, 2010, a man named Jeff W., who went by Gazaz My Hero, would make a post titled, "Even skimming this once will blow your mind. Most probably think it's made up, but you'd be dead wrong." Within it, he explains that he was an Elan student in 1998, before outlining, in detail, the reality of what took place there. They're mostly points that we've already covered and explored in great detail tonight. But back then, these claims were unbelievable. The school was very much still in operation, so some initially had a tough time wrapping their head around the fact that a place like this actually existed. But then came the comments. The other stories from other alumni with their own experiences. Gazaz My Hero's post carried weight. It was real, and these atrocities needed to be
Tier
known.
1 Dewey Nose and 2 give sub Zuki.
Eventually, this thread would rack up over 2,000 likes and 1.4 thousand comments. While this may not have caused Elan's closure outright, It aggressively reopened old wounds. 2010 was not 2000. The internet user base was exponentially larger than it had been, and resultingly, the effectiveness of this newfound attention caused a massive amount of backlash that the Elan School had never before experienced.
These 3 sub-chimeras.
4 months later. On the 23rd of March 2011, the Elan School announced that it would soon be shutting down. Cher and Terry blamed the call on what they deemed to be libelous remarks made about them online. The school has been the target of harsh and false attacks spread over the internet with the avowed purpose of forcing the school to close. The school, unfortunately, has been unable to survive the damage.
Shucks.
And on the 1st of April 2011, the Elan School would close its doors.
What a great date to close on fucking April Fool's Day.
They blamed it on declining student numbers in hopes of diverting the attention away from the actual cause. But on the outside, everyone knew the real reason. For students, this was unbelievably good news. However, the damage they endured was something that would remain.
Thanks to Prime Fans and Sutrus and the resub, Wilhelm,
It's been reported
Geegan,
that
and
numerous
Cold Dog.
suicides have occurred as a result of attendance at Elan. PTSD with alumni is rampant, and it's clear that the school had done nothing but damage people. A filmmaker and former student named Todd Nilsson, creator of a fantastic Elan documentary named The Last Stop, has gone on record to state that, as a student, he was helped by their unconventional tactics, but he knew the majority of others weren't quite so lucky. Today, hundreds of stories remain online about the cruelty committed at the Elan School, about the facade they upkept for 41 years. Reading through these are eye-opening, and you can find them on nearly every piece of media and documentation that exists about Elan online. To all of you that have shared your stories, that have opened up about the torment you went through, your voice is the reason that Elan ceases to exist today. This video would not exist without you, and I wish I could say that I feel your pain. But I don't.
What's Sharon Terry up to? Let me take a peek. Sharon Terry, what's going on? Wow, since 2011 she has vanished. Holy fuck. Her spirit was trapped in Elan, and when it closed down, she just ceased to exist. Holy fuck. Yeah, I cannot find anything of Sharon Terry after 2011, my god. Well, thanks to the resub. Physics.
While there are and have been other facilities like this throughout history, those are another story for another time. The legacy that Elan left behind is a dark one. Knowing the true history of what occurred off Number 5 Road is haunting. And no matter if it forever stands physically, the psychological destruction that it left behind will very unfortunately forever remain.
Thanks to the resub, Bloviator. That was good. That was a very interesting story. God damn, that was fucking intense. So I imagine over the course of 41 years, they must have had a lot of students graduate. And I'm really surprised that it took Reddit to be the one to finally shut that shit down. From one post. Thanks to the resub, Wingman. And eat on him. The graduates were brainwashed. That's true. I guess it's hard to really understand that perspective, since I obviously wasn't there for the brainwashing. That was really good, though. Alright, let's run it! There's the Prime Kruggy.
They say that nothing on the internet is ever truly gone. One of the most compelling aspects
That's wrong.
of this very
All of my
resource
old
that we
anime
use
music
every day
videos are gone.
is the fact that, for the
Can't get
most
them back.
part, any and everything that's ever been posted online can be archived.
Nope, not my
forever, like a never-ending diary.
I've been trying for years to find my old
This allows
videos.
the possibility for an incomprehensible amount of information gathered from the past and present available to us at any
Thanks,
given
Research
time.
Story and Paradox.
Over on Reddit, a lot of strange, disturbing, and even depressing things have played out over the years.
Thank you, Canada
leaving
Matt.
us
Appreciate
with
the 5
tons
gift
of
subs.
stories and events to dig through. Within this vast sea of archives, though, is one that really hit home for me back when it happened, as it, in real time, merged the realms of the internet and reality, ultimately leaving people absolutely baffled at the resolution.
I'll be the judge of that.
Because tonight, we're going to head back in time to 2016 to explore the incredibly bizarre and heartbreaking story of a Redditor by the name of Jason in Hell.
Jason in Hell. That's pretty extreme.
On the late evening of October 28th of 2016, a Redditor named Jason in Hell would make a sudden post to the relationship advice subreddit, seeking counsel regarding a cheating situation that played out between his wife and neighbor. His post is titled, "I'm having a hard time coping with my wife having cheated on me with our neighbor."
Damn, she cheated with a 51-year-old dude?
Immense detail.
He must be
his
slinging
experience
meat.
catching his wife cheating on him over a year prior. At the time, though, little did everyone know that this would be the spearhead of the absolute turmoil that he and his family would soon begin to endure.
Hey, thanks. God damn, Car Stark. Thank you. Appreciate the bits.
So, quick side note before we move on. I did a story narration back in my Redditor
Maybe I
Escapes
can't
the
watch
Cult
that
video,
shadow.
and you guys seem to like it. For this one, we're going to lay things out largely the same way. We'll go through
Prime Party.
Jason's full story before diving into the aftermath of how things turned out. The original post is about an 8-minute read, so if you'd like to grab a snack or drink before we get into it,
Oh, Jesus,
now would
okay.
be the time.
I was hoping for just the cliff notes, but that's okay. Fuck it, we're already here. I'll let it ride.
I'm having a hard time coping with my wife having cheated on me with her neighbor. It has been 476 days since I confronted her about it. How do I know? Because every time I catch myself thinking about it, I tell myself, it's only been X days. Maybe you won't think about it tomorrow.
That sounds highly unlikely.
So
He's
to go
not an
back to the
anime
beginning,
character.
I had
No one
just
does
taken on
that.
a new project and new responsibilities at work. I was working a lot of hours, 60 plus per week, and was noticeably stressed. It was in May of 2015 that I noticed that she had a password on her phone. When confronted about it, she told me it was just because she was planning my Father's Day present and didn't want me to ruin the surprise. About a week later, she came
Good
to me
plan.
and told me that she felt guilty keeping a big secret from me, and told me that she was having our neighbor, a contractor, build a home office for me as my present. It struck me as odd, as in our 6 years together she's never said she felt guilty about anything and always insists that she never regrets anything in her life. Time goes on, her phone is still
Thanks for
password
resubing Evie
protected,
in the Prime
and
Squish.
things don't feel right. I see her using her phone and smiling to herself more and more often, but when I ask her what she's doing, she says nothing and puts her phone away. So one morning, I wait for her to get in the shower, and I grab her phone before it requires the password. I go through her messages and find that she's texting the neighbor. "I'm all covered in frosting.
What?
You want to lick it off?"
What is this, porn? Like, what are you talking? There's no fucking way this is real. What? Why is everyone saying this is real? Who? So was she actually covered in frosting? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Raided a kid's birthday party and fell and flopped around in the cake? I highly doubt this is real. The guy starts by saying, it's been 476 days since I found this. I know because I've counted every day. Telling myself I'll forget about it tomorrow or whatever. That does not sound real at all. I'll let it ride, but this is very fishy at best.
There were no other messages to the neighbor, but I found out later that was because she had set up her phone to delete messages after a certain amount of time. I felt uncomfortable with it, but I knew she had a perverted sense of humor, and I thought she would never do anything to hurt me. More time goes by, and the neighbor is spending more and more time at our house, but the office is being completed slower and slower. I can't help but worry that something isn't right, so I start checking her location using Google Timeline. It was at this point that I realized that there are large gaps in her GPS history because she was turning off her phone's GPS.
Jesus.
Fast forward to July.
So this guy's basically a stalker.
The paranoia is driving me nuts, so I tell her that I need to install a new antivirus on her phone. While she has it unlocked for me, I install an anti-theft software so I can remotely turn the GPS back on and set up AT&T message backup and restore so I can read all of her text messages.
Does a program like that even exist? That sounds like a convenient tool in like a bad CW movie.
My 2 kids, so my wife
for people that don't understand technology.
The day to herself. I watch my wife's activity from work as she spends the day trying to meet up with a neighbor.
That exists?
But is unsuccessful because he's busy with another job site. That night, we get the kids back from my mom's house and we go to dinner with a neighbor, his girlfriend, and his son. My wife and his girlfriend are having a good time, drinking, laughing, and just joking around. His girlfriend mentions that she'd like to see Magic Mike. I say it's a good idea and I'll watch the kids so my wife and her can go. So my wife and her go, and the neighbor and I go back to my house so the kids can play video games together.
Oh shit, he beats his ass.
The kids are back in my son's room playing games, and the neighbor's sitting across from me on the other couch. It's at this point that my wife starts texting him. She's describing sex acts that she would like to perform with him, and he's reciprocating. She tells him to check his Snapchat, and at the same time, I get a Snapchat from her too, and it's her fingering herself in a bathroom stall. They keep talking,
is he married to
fucking
Susie Squirts a lot? Like who does that?
So in my head,
what?
I already planned to pretend to leave and circle back to catch them, but then they tell each other they love each other, and it's all I can do not to leap off the couch and knock him out. But I contain myself and continue reading the conversation unfolding in front of me. Then he tells her, "You're my girl now," to which she replies, "Always have been," ending with him writing, "And always will be."
This is fanfic. This is literally fucking fanfic. Holy shit.
My wife and the neighbor's girlfriend return from the movie, and I ask them politely to sit down. I then ask the kids to stay in my son's room and shut the door. I return to the living room and confront my wife and the neighbor. I say, "So you two love each other,
I really
huh?"
appreciate the huge
And
bits.
my wife
I'm
goes
glad you
into
had fun
full-blown
tonight.
denial mode, and the neighbor's girlfriend starts smacking him. I ask my wife if she's been texting him. She says no, so I show her the text messages. She admits to it but says it was the first time that it went that far. I ask my wife if she sent him pictures. She says no, so I show her the picture, and she admits it but says it was the first time. I ask her if she's having sex with him, and she says no. Because I didn't want to catch them having sex together, I didn't have evidence to prove her wrong, so that one stayed unresolved. I tell her that I'm leaving her, and she tells me that she'll make sure that I never see my kids again if I do. She planned on using the fact that I had attempted suicide in high school to prove me unfit to have children. She continues to say that it was my fault for being so busy with work and stressed out that she just wanted someone she could talk to. Then she gives me an ultimatum to decide what I'm going to do, or she'll decide for me. The neighbor's girlfriend starts defending the two of them, saying that it couldn't have been that serious if they weren't having sex, and that my wife and I are too perfect together to let this break us up. The neighbors go home, and my wife and
I yeah, that sounds like something normal that happens.
We go to bed separately, having not resolved anything. We keep going back and forth on the subject all weekend, and finally settle on we were going to separate temporarily while we figure out what we want. I was going to stay in the house, and she was going to take the kids and go to her mom's house. That Monday I go to work, and I get a text from her in the middle of a meeting with my bosses, stating that she had explained things to our kids, but they were upset, and I needed to explain things to them also. I get home from work to find my kids crying. She had told them that mommy had to move out because dad was mad at her. When my son wanted to stay with me, she told him that he can't.
Oh, it's getting real dark.
My son put it together that if mommy has to move out because I'm mad at her, and he must move out, then I must have been mad at him too. My daughter was crying because my son was, but I don't think that she was old enough to understand what was happening. It was at this moment I realized that she was going to drag the kids through hell if I left her, so I swallowed my feelings and begged her to stay. She agreed and insisted that I apologize to our neighbor since we were still going to need to hang out with him because our sons are good friends.
Thanks for some water.
I hate it, but I do it anyway. We still hang out with them from time to time, and they come to our various birthday and holiday parties, but I'd do anything for my kids, and I behave civil every time. Things die down for a while. I still think about it constantly. I worry how I can keep from making her so unhappy that she cheats on me again. Then, almost a year after the original incident, around Father's Day again, she sends him pictures again. She claims that it was an accident and that she meant to send them to me instead. I don't fully believe her, but I move on anyway.
Thanks for the resub, Prater.
Things have been quiet on that front for about 4 months now, but I still think about it constantly.
In
this
this
is going
video,
to sound
Dion?
stupid, but I feel like I have a part of my brain that I can't shut off, that's always thinking. I used to use that to solve programming problems, and it made me very good at my job, but ever since this incident, the only thing it thinks about is her and him, and if I did the right thing. My job performance has suffered, and I feel like I haven't gotten sleep in months. I'm afraid that after this much time, and the fact that I begged her back, that to say that I want a divorce now would only make her more vindictive towards my kids and I just feel like I put myself so deep in a hole that I could never get back out. I haven't really talked to anyone about this. I didn't want to talk to my mom about it because I felt like she would treat my wife differently, and I didn't need the two fighting.
Alright, now I'm all caught up on the lore.
I tried talking to one friend about it, but his advice was to put my trust in God, but that was not much solace for me as I'm an atheist.
That sounds like a Redditor for sure.
Or how to move on from this.
And then I also spit in my friend's face and said wubba lubba dub dub.
In response to Jason, users chimed in with a mixed bag of emotions. To get the full picture on all the flack that he was getting for this, here are a few examples. I cannot believe you stayed with her. I cannot believe you begged
I don't really
her
care about the
I cannot
Redditor
believe you
response, I just want to
apologized
know
your
where
neighbor.
this story goes, to be honest.
Smack the shit out of that old man. Go to an attorney and talk about ways to get custody of your kids. Your wife's a twat. Staying in a marriage for the sake of the kids never works out. She obviously was sleeping with him and then got you to apologize to him. She denied it all. She will put you through the ringer when you divorce her, but you should do it. Chances are, now she has a second phone and an email address to talk to him.
A detective,
Your wife
good,
is vicious
finally.
and toxic, and you have to decide if you divorce her now or when your kids have moved out. The sooner the better. So this all would be a lot for anyone to handle. Taking some of the serious, grounded advice that a few people had thrown in there was pivotal for him to begin moving on from this. And so we did. 4 nights later, on November 1st, Jason would return to the relationship advice subreddit and make a follow-up post.
Okay, where are we at, Jason?
I'm taking your advice. He explains his next move. Instead of trying to fix something that she doesn't want to fix, I'm going to get myself and my kids out. I meet with an attorney next week. Thank you everyone for helping me see how far I had my head up my ass. In
Very nice.
Reddit wished him luck in his endeavors, reinforcing the idea that he's making the right move. But then something strange would happen.
Uh-oh, aliens? What happened?
Going through the comments a bit
Galactic
deeper
fight?
reveals something a little odd. Like we said, yes, people were commending him on his decision, but about a week later, people began jumping back into the post, linking a news article that seemed to align with this situation with striking accuracy.
Good evening, I'm Jeff Smith. Thanks for joining us. 2 Montgomery County children are dead tonight. Their mother, 30-year-old Brandy Worley, says she is responsible for their deaths. News 18's Krista Henry joins us now live from the Montgomery County
There's the
courthouse
resub Logan
tonight
ad,
with more on
and the
this
tier 1
developing
Rico,
story.
and
Krista?
resub Spike Caps.
Well,
And
Jeff,
the big raid
this
tech
morning
ton.
when I asked Sheriff Mark
Thank you,
Castile
goddamn.
if
The door of
Worley
fate
showed any
shall
kind of
open.
remorse, he answered with no,
I've
and then
been
went on to
waiting
say,
for
quote,
you,
she, in
friends.
fact, acted very matter of fact.
Hold on. Thank you for the huge raid, Tectone. And thanks to the resub Rogue and Gamer. Yeah, I still don't really believe this story is real. This seems like classic Reddit when they thought they caught the Boston bomber type thing, connecting these dots. Clearly I'm not done yet, so I don't know for sure. But yeah, just to catch you up to speed. Dude's wife was slamming meat of a 51-year-old neighbor, and dude went to Reddit for advice, as any sane man would do, I guess. And now Redditors in the follow-up are saying that his wife killed the kids. So that's where we're at. Thanks to Prime Shift. Reasons why I think it's fake. This guy counted every day for 476 days that his wife was cheating. And apparently his wife fingers herself in movie theater stalls and sends it to him or sends it to the neighbor on Snapchat and him. So I don't know, that seems weird. Seems fishy.
According to ABC6 Indianapolis, on November 17th of that year, a Montgomery County mother was charged with 2 counts of murder after police say she admitted to killing her 2 young children. According to the probable cause affidavit, Brandy Worley told police that her husband was divorcing her, and "I did not want him taking them, so I stabbed them." The children's father, Jason Worley, was sleeping in the basement at the time of the crime.
Jesus, why the basement?
According to court documents, Jason had filed for divorce on Wednesday, citing an irretrievable breakdown in the marriage as the reason for the divorce. Now, this definitely carries tons of parallels to the original story. Here, we have a woman named Brandy Worley who, in cold blood, murdered her children, citing the fact that she didn't want Jason taking them as her motive. On the other hand, on Reddit, we have this story by this Jason in Hell guy, who has the same first name, might I add, about his unnamed wife being unfaithful and how he just filed for divorce. And lastly, in his original story, he relayed the fact that his wife claimed that he'll never see the kids again if the two split.
These recent Papa Blacks.
Back when this was unfolding, people were speculating that this might be the same guy. Tons of signs were pointing to this, but most were simply trying to maintain that tiny sliver of skepticism. That was until November 21st, when Jason would return to do one last follow-up, essentially confirming everyone's preconceptions. Thank you. I would like to give a heartfelt and sincere thank you for the advice and support I've received here. No one could have foreseen the tragedy that resulted from me filing for divorce. You guys perform a wonderful service to those in need, and I hope you continue to do so in the future. Below this, he attached a link to the same news article outlining the situation. And it was at this moment that everyone realized just how real this entire thing actually was.
Yeah.
Brandy was the one that stoically reported this to the authorities.
That sounds like a totally reasonable post for a father going through grief saying thank you and linking the death of his children so casually.
Montgomery County 911, where's your emergency?
203 South Madison Street.
In what town?
Darlington.
Hey, what's going on there?
I just stabbed myself and I killed my 2 children.
You stabbed yourself and killed your 2 children?
Thanks a good sub, Tony.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and what's your name?
Brandy Worley.
Brandy what?
Worley.
Okay. How do you spell your last name?
W-O-R-L-E-Y.
And where are the children at?
In my daughter's
No. All of this is real. I'm saying the Reddit post being this couple is what I'm questioning. I'm not done yet, so maybe I'll be convinced here in 4 minutes.
My husband wanted to divorce and wanted to take my kid. I won't let him have my kid.
Okay, and how old are your children?
7 and 3.
10 and 3?
7.
7 and 3?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And where did you stab yourself at?
In the neck.
Okay. Are you bleeding?
Yeah, there's blood everywhere.
There's the bits
okay,
lavender.
Where are you at?
In my living room.
You're in their living room?
Mm-hmm.
According to court documents, the 2 children, Tyler and Charlie Worley, were stabbed, resulting in deep lacerations on both of their necks. Brandy had stabbed herself in the same place as well, but this surprisingly didn't end up killing her. Shortly after this, Brandy was treated at the hospital for her stab wound, and about a week later was admitted to jail, where she sat for 476 days up until her final sentencing. In 2018, she was convicted of 2 counts of murder, totaling at 120 years in prison. According to Fox 59, Brandy was expected to claim the insanity defense, but ended up settling for a guilty plea. She appeared to be just as unremorseful as she did in the 911 call. She spoke in a very matter-of-fact manner when describing her crime. It was heart-wrenching to hear her speak as she did. All I want, and have ever wanted, was to have her out of sight and mind so I could move forward from this horror. To this day, Brandy Worley sits in the Rockville Correctional Facility in Park County, Indiana, serving out her time in prison for the remainder of her life. As for Jason, he's made a return to Reddit under the nickname Jason in Code, giving everyone a much requested update on how he's coping. Here, he claims that it's been incredibly far from easy, and at times he's considered taking his own life due to the anguish caused by the passing of his beloved children. Regarding the sentencing, he believes that Brandy shouldn't have gotten the death sentence because that's what she would have wanted, and after 9 years of giving her exactly that, he wanted to avoid it in any way he could. Overall, though, Jason mostly claims that he's doing better, and becomes more so with each passing day. If I can impart you on something that I have learned through all of this, it's that you should always take the time to be with the ones you love. It doesn't matter if they're asking you to read The Pokey Little Puppy for the millionth time, or asking you to play Smash Bros, even though you know that they'll wipe the floor with you every time. Just do it, because you never know what time will be the last time. Always make sure they know how much you love them. I had the fortune that the last thing my children ever heard me say was, "I love you. Good night. I'll see you in the morning."
Yeah, maybe it is real. Or that Jason in Hell, whoever made it,
thanks so much
capitalized off
see you in the next one.
Story.
I love you all.
For internet points. Kind of like those people who make Twitter accounts during a tragedy to try and get points and GoFundMes. But I find that unlikely. Damn, what a wild ride. Still, this really strikes me as super odd. Assuming this is all real, why would he make this post as a follow-up? This does not seem like someone who, literally days after the murder of his kids, would be so cavalier to post this. Seems very odd to me. But, who knows, I guess. Thanks to resub Selden and the Prime Aiden and Turtle. The resub Giblet. Cavalier being the wrong word. Yeah, could be fake, probably real though. Reddit karma is like the least, like on the food chain of social points, it's literally the lowest. Nobody is Reddit famous. I guarantee maybe 5 people can tell me who has the most karma on all of Reddit because no one gives a fuck. So I don't think someone would farm karma like that. You can be Twitter famous, Facebook famous and all that shit, but Reddit, I've never heard of someone Reddit famous or anything like that. You command 0 power and 0 presence by having a ton of karma on Reddit. Seen that one actually, Wicked. And thanks to the resub Super. So it's probably real then. Fucking wild story. Deep fucking Value isn't famous for Reddit. He's famous for that entire GME movement, which started on Reddit, I suppose, so you could argue it, but it's not like he was just a Reddit commenter. Like he wasn't a Reddit karma farmer. He was a Redditor who did something fucking crazy, which caught on and blew up. I guess, Bind. I'm just assuming it's real. It seems very, very wild if that was all an elaborate fake from that Reddit account. These are the gifts of wheel. Cult in a dead MMO? Is it this one? This one's 34 minutes. Wait, this one's kind of like a fucking fat one. And it's already 1:30. We can let it ride. Fuck it. Thanks to the resub Mamalona, maybe Soul Eater, and thanks to the Prime Lux.
Welcome to Worlds Online, the internet's first 3D virtual world platform.
Woohoo! 3D, that's crazy. We can fucking smell and go wild in here.
Virtual space. Online users can shop, watch movies, listen to music, play games, and collaborate with each other. Today's web user is looking
Tom
for
Brady?
an intimate connection with friends, with celebrities, and with trending brands that reflect their values and lifestyle in both the real world and the virtual. By investing in Worlds, you are investing in the future. Worlds.com.
All good, Raiders. Just ask him about it.
Together.
Throughout the mid-2010s, an urban legend would surface about a mysterious MMO by the name of Worlds.com.
Thanks to Resub Chippewa and the Tier 1
Having
cuddles.
been launched to the public in the mid-1990s, the game was believed by many to be dead, discontinued, and lost to the inevitable void of internet history.
Where?
Unbeknownst to most,
How do
this
people even
couldn't have been
find
further
that?
from the truth, as Worlds.com was very much still running. But there was a catch. Venturing into the game today presents you with
This looks
barren
cool.
wasteland of nothingness, a relic that
What
was
the
once
fuck?
bustling with life, and
You get to play as a duck or a penguin?
to life supports. The game, expectedly, is completely empty.
Thanks for the 5 gift subs, 28 down. Appreciate it.
You see, rumor had it that Worlds.com was hiding something, a shrouded purpose that's been kept from the public. Rumors involving in-game cults, boxing, graphic imagery, and virtual stalking have led curious minds to hesitantly venture into Worlds themselves in hopes of finding out if these allegations were true.
What the fuck? That's nuts!
So back.
Alright.
This is the story of Worlds.com.
Alright, I'm super invested in this now. Is it a cool cult? Did they do cool things like give out candy on holidays and stuff? Or one of those bad ones like the Manson shit?
An aside. The 1990s were a magical time in the world of entertainment and the advancement of society. Being what I can only describe as the calm before the imminent mid-2000s technological storm, we were living in an era that brought us some unforgettable treasures in the realms of video gaming, movies,
Yeah,
and television.
blockbuster, classic, fuck
In
yeah.
the gaming world, for instance, new and unforgettable IPs such as Mario Kart,
Yeah, agreed, Soul Eater.
Banjo-Kazooie, Fallout, Resident Evil, and Silent Hill were born. And with these came game consoles that have stood the test of time in bringing us unforgettable experiences such as the Super Nintendo, PlayStation 1, and the Dreamcast.
God, the Dreamcast was so good, the most underrated console in history, Power Stone. We need a third Power Stone, please? So good. Sugoi! Fuck, it was so good.
That predated the modern interconnected society that we live in today. A lot of nostalgia is carried inside of many, as the mid-1990s are remembered as a time when the internet was just barely getting its footing into mainstream culture.
Thanks to
Personal
Prime
computers
Ireland.
during this era were nothing but an expensive novelty, at least for my family, and the ones that did have one used them primarily for work. In August of
True cuddles.
1995, Microsoft would release a revolutionary competitor to the Netscape Navigator, the pre-existing OG of internet browsing, called the Internet Explorer.
Yeah.
If you were lucky enough to get your hands on a PC in this era, then, combined with the tools at your disposal in Windows 95, you were able to venture into the vast, wild west of an enigma, known as the World Wide Web.
God, the internet back then was so wild and
In today's
wacky.
culture, things have changed.
I'll never forget when I was
Social media,
horny and typed in
discussion
like
boards, and
boobies
websites
and
in
went to a
general
site that
have
had a
all
demon on it.
sterilized,
Haunted.
being pushed to the brink of minimalism and moderation. This isn't necessarily a bad thing, but a lot of the magic and charm that existed in the wacky and terribly designed UIs of the past are largely gone, replaced by logos containing simple shapes, any shred of creative color being replaced by whites,
Microsoft.
and all-encompassing oversimplification of pretty much everything. As you've heard in my incessant rambling so far, the era was magical, and a lot of newfound creative mediums were on the rise. While video gaming via a conventional console was the primary method of escaping into a mystic world, the rise of the internet paved the path for a new form of interactive storytelling and interconnected social experiences.
Gaming.
And those were a little
For
something we now
gamers.
know as MMOs.
Oh.
Or massive
Kinda.
multiplayer online video games.
I'm really sorry to hear that, bro. Wishing you the best moving forward. It's awful.
Of the many websites that were available to early adopters of the internet, one would be launched in April of 1995.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see that, dog. My bad, man.
The website was created by a company simply named Worlds Inc. and housed a public 3D chat room that players could enter and explore to their heart's content. According to the website, the minimum configuration is a 90 MHz or faster processor with 32 megabytes of memory. The recommended platform is a Pentium class processor.
Okay, real quick, is it just me, or on his voice, is there like a really low voice layered into it? Is it just my headphones, or am I hearing like a fucking MMO demon in there? Yeah? Okay, cool. So it's not just me. I didn't know if my headphones were dying, or if Satan was communicating through Lil Nas's music and infiltrating or something like that. Fucking weirding me out. No one else mentioned it in the chat.
133 MHz or faster, with 48 megabytes of memory. Windows 95, 98, 2000, or NT. A whopping 80 megabytes of
Thanks to some Red Rider and
space,
Marksman.
and an active internet connection. The game was a big success, mostly attributed to the novelty of virtual online chat rooms at the time. It garnered the attention of various big names, including David Bowie, Steven Spielberg, and a digital artist by the name of Tamiko Thiel. The latter two actually teamed up at one point and created an in-game environment called the Starbright World, which was aimed at giving seriously ill children an outlet to interact. The gameplay is mostly what you'd expect from something out of the mid-1990s. At the outset of registering your profile, players are given the opportunity to choose between various avatars to represent themselves in-game. Among them are a human, a penguin, a monster, a kangaroo, and a clown.
Good selections.
Advertising
Not bad.
websites are various realms.
Oh, and you can be on the Yankees?
Explore at your leisure. Among the hundreds that you're able to choose from, a few notable ones include worlds themed around David Bowie, the New York Yankees, the band Hanson, the Sky, an Animal House, and a Fun House.
Thanks to resub.
Venturing out into worlds for the first time,
Bionics.
you're thrown into a central hub with other players from around the world. The various themed environments that we mentioned prior are accessible through tunnels and doors that are next to their labels, and entering these immediately loads whichever one you so choose.
Pretty innovative for its
Like
time, to
any
be
3D
fair.
PC game is achieved using your keyboard and mouse, and also available to you is a chat box
Thanks to
allowing
Prime
you to communicate to
Again,
others
Grinna.
in real time. Now this seems like nothing out of the ordinary. Along with the primitive graphics, the game is pretty substandard today. At the time though, this was absolutely groundbreaking, and PC owners flooded this thing, giving it a burst of life that would deem Worlds.com a massive success.
Fuck yeah.
As with anything that's been crafted in the digital age though, the user base began to decline over the years. With the
Kinda
advent
seen
of
it.
various
More like Second
competitors,
Life.
The mid-2000s brought with it the inevitable desertion of the Worlds.com user base as players moved on to bigger and better ventures. Second Life, RuneScape, Toontown, VMK, MyCoke,
Habbo
and
Hotel. Yeah, I knew it was
were becoming
coming.
viable alternatives that not only looked better, but gave players more to do with their own distinct charm. You may have noticed that most of the names
Soon,
that did start
Rotok.
off are now defunct. The Toontown, VMK, and MyCoke live support plugs were pulled as their developers encountered an existential problem that was prevalent from the start. They couldn't find a way to monetize them. Combined with this, the fact that these games were all run with the help of moderation teams and ongoing servers, it became evident that as long as these virtual worlds were online, whoever it was that was running them was losing money. At this point, you'd expect Worlds Inc. to pull the plug. With a dwindling user base and aging game mechanics, it seemed like this was the only sensible way to go.
Oh, giant spider, watch out, holy shit!
Or release something new and optimized for the next generation of online gaming. But they didn't.
Damn, this place is popping off
As
in
a
there.
matter of fact, Worlds.com is still downloadable and accessible to this day, and stands as an uncanny and deserted relic of the past.
This is cool.
Rumor has it that the game's creator,
I wanna play.
Tom Kidron, is simply fronting the server costs himself and running it out of his own home.
Good man.
That begs the question.
Thanks.
Why on earth would an individual be fronting the costs to keep a dead video game alive? What part of this?
He's got a
abandoned
virtual
landscape
girlfriend with
is
big
so
titties.
pivotal that it's still in existence over 20 years later.
This looks so cool. Look at this.
In the short span of time that I've been here, it suddenly dawned on me that I'm visibly the new guy. Everyone here seems to know it.
Uh-oh.
I'm not a regular.
They think he's a cop. They think he's the feds.
Down the rabbit hole.
Run! Get out of there! Engage, no clip. Thanks to resub Broden and Kenway. Yeah, someone is still running the servers, he just said that.
Rumors began to spread about the game thanks to certain anons from 4chan's VNX boards. Allegedly, there existed potentially illegal and cult-like behavior from the game's handful of players during that time period. As you'd expect, upon catching wind of this, the rest of 4chan did what they do and went in to investigate. Before we continue, I wanted to make something explicitly clear. In my hunting, it dawned on me that these allegations surfaced at a point in time that predated the year 2012. I say this because the oldest records that I've been able to dig up are from that year. Unfortunately, most of the archives, images, and audio files that we're going to get into have been lost to time.
What?
However, there are some that allow us to piece together a cohesive storyline as to what actually went on in Worlds.com. So let's talk about the game itself. A major element at the game's core was the ability for users to create and host their own customized universes.
Wait, I'm confused. What does he say? So everything here,
Shaper.
2012? What?
Much like Minecraft, if someone chose to do so, they could create their own server, build what they want, and invite certain players through a downloadable file that's accessible through Shaper. Many of these became archived on various websites, and even today, there are download links out there to access certain
Everything
custom
dated
worlds.
before 2012 are lost.
Effectively,
Okay.
the possibilities were endless, and harnessing the
Resub Omni.
creative freedom that they were given, players were able to create some admittedly impressive worlds. Now that it's died down, though, things have become a bit darker. A bit more controversial.
I'm not sure about
so
Second
to
Life
speak.
having a cult.
While there are groups of people that are or might be strange in their own right, there are two that have starkly stood out to me as the most mysterious. Two users, a Jimbly and a Nexialist. Interestingly, both have crossed paths in the game. However, their stories couldn't be further apart. Contrary to Nexialist, the stories surrounding Jimbly seemed a bit more grounded in reality. But we'll get to it.
So what are this? Are those like the two raid bosses or something in here? The two different big groups?
First, I'd like to introduce you to Nexialist. According to an early 2012 blog by the name of ForgottenWorlds.com, the profile piece on him states the following. Nexialist is a regular at Worlds.com that has been trying to pull in the VNX boards to play this game. Nexialist is a successful user that's been able to get a cult following in the game, which is hard to do. He constantly reaches out to dedicated players to join him, as he seems to be called the Key Bearer.
Key Bearer.
Around the game
Okay.
without chatting. This isn't even close to covering entirely who this guy is rumored to be, so allow me to pick up where they left off. According to 4chan and various message boards, Nexialist is abstruse, a shred of indecipherable mystery that's lurked Worlds.com for what some believe to be as long as the early 2000s. Encountering him
This is wacky.
and it's been rumored that you don't actually find him, he finds you. Upon discovering you, he'll approach you without words, standing as what appears to be a lifeless corpse as you begin to quietly panic at his disturbing avatar. After the initial shock dies down, you're told to follow him, and as a result, you embark on a journey through hellish customized corridors that bear satanic symbolism and graphic imagery.
Who is this guy? Can we get an update on the guy playing Professor Utonium? Where does he fit into this grand scheme?
After your tour, Nexialis will begin sending you disturbing audio files. Audio files that I wasn't able to find archives for. But if we go by descriptions from 4chaners, it's safe to assume that these sound like the distorted deaths of dying animals. Once you're scared to your wit's end and you leave the game, he already knows that you're going to go to 4chan to talk about it, because that's what he wants you to do. Spread the word, get people talking, and the next sucker that grows a sliver of curiosity and decides to check it out is his next victim. Unfortunately, this all reads like an urban legend. People have been able to capture screenshots and video of Nexialis over the years, but not much, aside from very few outliers, have been found that outlines what I'm describing. Because of that, I'd like to put a pin in this arcane figure and circle back on him later.
This is the game Vinesauce played, Vinny?
I'd like to bring you into.
Is it? Someone I saw on one of those threads. And he didn't encounter Nexialis?
The Hidden Worlds website that I mentioned earlier serves as a diary of the experiences that a man named George Costanza had witnessed when he first played Worlds. According to his blog, he found a bizarre network that this Jimbly guy seems to be running, and the entries on his website outline a considerable amount of information that I'd like to dive into and unpack. The very first post on the website was made on January 5th, 2012. It reads as follows. Well, I started playing this game called Worlds.com. Seemed innocent, but according to V, it has some fucked up things from the past. Everything's forgotten here, and in a group we explored the game. In the coming days we'll share our stories and pictures here. Further on that day, another post was made outlining Jimbly's supposed network and its inner workings. The game started as
interesting, Soul Eater.
We had gags while we explored the worlds, skeletons popping out, and finding Pegasus. Things a person could expect from playing Roblox or other games where your creations are welcome. But things turned bizarre. Our friend Grad, as we called him, was showing us these rooms that I mentioned, and eventually we ended up in a lobby filled with brown doors with text on them. These doors had the creator's name and a description of the level or world. This guy, Bilbo99, had messed up levels with Easter eggs everywhere, and we praised him for his creepiness. And then I noticed at the right corner of my window said erotic and
Hey, Jimbly!
This map was Jimbly's creation.
Fuck yeah, look at him. He's having fun.
Starbucks. However, things would take a turn. You see, there was a person that contacted me named Megalic. Her or his avatar was a bird or an angel. She claimed that she was new in the world, as I was, but she'd been playing this game for a week and already gotten dirty and knew what this shit was really about. To act new is a common trick to bait new players. Anyway, Jimbly had a network that was serious. How serious? To enter his network, you need to provide mugshots. For example, here's Bilbo99. There were a total of 3 rooms filled with different mugshots of users, but room 2 was dedicated to Jimbly.
Hold on, let me go to the bathroom real quick. Give me 2 seconds, sorry to blue ball you. Alright, I'm fucking back. Ended up taking a shit. Jump scared myself with my own fart. Pretty wild series of events. Let's go.
So we scavenged for Megalic and found this.
Well, I can't do that right now, Redis. You're gonna have to ask a mod.
One thing I found that was standing out was a user named Kelikar. She was in the porn gallery, and I compiled this. It seems like someone has stalked her, and the rooms were labeled Kelicat. This user must have been a fat cat in the network. As you can see, Kelikat's written there, so what Jimbly does now is retrieving nude pictures of regulars that are still left. Megalic was the proof that we needed, since she'd only been playing for a week tops.
Wow, Jesus, Jimbly.
Below this, George displays the various screen caps that he was able to take of the various mugshots of different users. Of the bunch, he was even able to grab a few of Jimbly himself. Intrigued by this atypical finding, he decided that him and his group of friends wanted to investigate a bit on their new friend.
I don't think I've seen that, Cumgar.
As it turns out, there was a bit more going on with them than they initially thought. and yet another post from the same day titled Megalik, a man or a woman. He describes the following. Megalik's nudes that could be found in the other post seemed too good to be true. Her head was cropped out and with the body of a young woman, while her mugshot shows an older woman in her 40s, and that picture's really old. What does that leave us with? She could have faked them because she doesn't want
So how is this a cult? I'm a little confused.
A man playing as a female.
Seems like a Reddit mod using his power to get pictures.
Real email, although it's linked to a man by the name of John. John's in his 50s, seems to enjoy MMOs.
He's a tier 1 biscuit boy.
Any interest of games, and has her only Facebook activity labeled as kids. So yes, Megalik might be or is the man posing as a fragile woman while baiting for pictures. Those pictures up there, except for his profile picture, is a year old. The pictures are from 2009, and then he used a picture of his wife to verify himself, and thought how cool it would be to send a fake picture of a pair of tits to make him look like a god in the game.
Okay. Classic John, I guess.
This network encompasses some extremely odd people. People that are impersonating others and using real-world mugshots to gain access to whatever it is that he's running. One might go as far to say that Scariest isn't the cult leader here, but rather, it's Gimli, as most of the rumors about the former seem to relate to what we found with the latter. In a third post I'd like to focus on, titled Gimli's Inner Circle.
Oh, sweet. Well, thank you,
George
Spooky.
Proceeds to explain the following. The last post was about this weird map, about a man going by the name Gimli that was trying to get naked pictures from regulars, or old players that were still active. So we stalked him. He hung out at a beach, but once we arrived, they'd all scatter and disappear. Thankfully, though, the friend tool and a broken avatar tool could let us teleport to them while
wow, good shit.
But that was for later. Meanwhile, we scavenged the net for Gimli. We found his website, GimbliWorlds.com.
Whoa, Gimli.
GimbliWorlds.com/pics, only to show a black screen with red typed text that said darkness.
Pretty cool website.
George reveals publicly accessible information about Gimli, including an email address, before closing his post with the revelation that also, Gimli's into traps. This can be found in his porn gallery. With this in the back of our mind, you know I couldn't just let this go. I had to get in. I had to find out if this was real.
There's no way it'd still be up.
Gimli and began my hunt.
What would it be, 7 years later?
Jeremy Erickson. I start a message and write the following. Good evening, Gimli. I've recently started playing Worlds and was interested in joining your in-game network to congregate with yourself and other players. Upon consulting with a few anons from X, I was told to reach out. I've downloaded a few worlds from your websites and am currently trying to get them working. Just let me know what I need to do when I'm in. Thanks, Jeremy.
This really doesn't seem like a cult, though. It's just a weird community.
So
maybe it gets culty now.
After a trek through worlds, a lack of a response, and dwindling time to wait, it's beginning to seem like Gimli either isn't currently active or simply doesn't play this anymore. Though I have a hard time believing that, considering the fact that the Whois domain search on his websites reveals that it was updated on November 5th of 2019. I'm not entirely sure if Gimli's the kind of guy that would have a sudden change of heart, but if you ask me, it is a bit recent. Anyway, with that under our belt, unfortunately, heading back to the blog reveals that most of the other threads outline mundane discoveries while exploring various official and user-crafted worlds. A few notable highlights include some of Gimli's bizarre creations.
Hey, that's Banger Sisters, I think.
Remotely relevant to our investigation.
Saw that movie a long time ago.
Even so, the discoveries surrounding Gem are nothing short of unnerving. So what's actually going on here?
He's the Prime Purple Elite. So far, I haven't really seen anything too wild here. I was expecting something fucking crazy.
The primary consensus.
In fact, I don't even know what we've learned other than
was that it's a front.
These people
for some
play an
sort
old
of
game and are
satanic
kind of
cult.
weird.
Rumors are powerful things. I won't deny that, but there are a few points here that I'd like to unpack. Contrary to Nexialist, Gimli surprisingly hasn't generated much buzz online. This bizarre, cult-like network that he seems to have created
How is it cult-like, though?
effectively cements him as somewhat of a wild card in my theorization. What this guy is doing is weird. From the mugshots to the vast database of supposed network members to his secret repository of graphic imagery, it seems like he is the one actually running the rumored cult. While it doesn't deal with Satanism and death like the urban legends claimed, this guy is, whether he knows it or not, effectively catalyzing a situation in which people run the risk of being doxxed. It took George not even one full day to piece together the real identity of the wife and man behind the McGalick mugshots, and it's unclear how many other selfies that he has stashed away in the world that he's, according to the blog, been building since 2005. To be frank, aside from the lack of a response, I wasn't able to find much else surrounding this guy, and it's safe to assume that there are others like him. A game
I'm not
that's
sure,
totally
Roadtalk.
abandoned, aside from a few key players, is surely something that would catch the eye of somebody trying to run some sort of network under the radar. With that being said, I encourage you to make your own conclusions about him. With the
Wait, is that
evidence
it?
at hand, it does appear that at one point in time, there was something going on behind the scenes. Whether or not it still is, or if the mysterious Gimli is still active, remains to be seen. While I haven't been able to track him down, maybe you can, but keep in mind that if you're so curious as to venture in on your own, your potential discoveries may be nefarious. But remember, we're talking about Gimli's custom worlds.
Thanks to Tier 1
Stay in the
Ludoplex.
official game,
It
and
gives
it's
sub
safe
Purple
to
Elite.
assume that you'll be alright. But that brings us to another point of discussion. Nexialist. You might recall that I mentioned the fact that users are able to create their own worlds. This was actually a pivotal mechanic in the game and gave players an extra layer of interactivity. In a sense, I could see the developers feeling as if they're future-proofing their
Did
game
not do Vid
as it allows
Chronicles.
creative freedom that was unheard of before the point of its release. With this in mind, we have to remember that most of his so-called cult activity was happening in these aforementioned user worlds. Regardless of his eerie demeanor, Nexialist was eager to
Thanks,
give
Resub
newcomers
Ernie.
a tour of many of these. As it turns out though, he's apparently come off as quite ordinary to many players. In one post on Reddit by a user named Goomilord, they claim that they even encountered Nex and that he's merely a normal guy. Apparently, he switched his avatar to Sanic at one point and began spamming the words, "There is no cult on worlds.com" in the chat.
So he's just an
Take it for what you
RP'er.
will.
Like, the guy just fucking
I believe
RPs. Thanks, the resub Dick.
So let's think about this logically.
And Ernie.
Worlds is, at its core, creepy in and of itself. The barren environments, combined with the uncanny primitive textures, naturally gives any unsuspecting players a sense of uneasiness, especially if you've caught wind of the various allegations surrounding Nex's mysterious character. To
That's
me,
pretty
I
cool.
believe that he's playing along, leading players to the belief that he's some sort of cult mastermind as a long-running joke. The worlds he frequents are creepy on purpose, and, in my opinion, he was capitalizing on it for a bit of fun.
Yeah,
His avatar
obviously,
is
for
nightmarish,
sure.
He comes off strangely when he wants to, and he executes this with a group of willing friends. The same friends that we see in the so-called cult screenshots that were captured in-game. A weird hobby, but to each their own. I'm not judging.
So there was nothing.
Now with all of that out of the way, there's still one glaring question that remains. Why does World still exist?
That's the only really weird thing about it. Like, there's no point to keep it running. That's like the only odd thing. Like, Gimli asking for pictures of people is the sign of a lonely person wanting to make sure, like, you know, this is a person, and I'm talking to a person. That's what it strikes me as. And the porn stuff is him taking fucking Google
Allow me to
images.
redirect your attention to the game's owner. Tom Kidron, in his many years as the world's owner, has become somewhat known
Thanks to
as
5
something
gift subs,
called a
Lotoplex.
patent
Thank you, man.
troll. Patent trolls
Appreciate it,
essentially
man.
purchase many different elements and ideas of a particular product and squat on them for years, filing lawsuits against anyone that violates them. The reason that these people are called patent trolls mainly rests on the fact that the ones they purchase are typically what they perceive to be a sought-after and core element of a particular product. In this case, Kidron's been squatting on patent number 7,181,690,
Classic patent.
which is titled System and Method for Enabling Users to Interact in a Virtual Space. This was filed on August 3rd, 2000, with further detail in the following. The invention provides a highly scalable architecture for a three-dimensional graphical multi-user interactive virtual world system. In a preferred embodiment, a plurality of users interact in a three-dimensional, computer-generated graphical space where each user executes a...
Yeah, he probably sues everyone that makes one of these kind of games.
From the perspective of that user. Sounds broad, doesn't it? That was on purpose. Andy's used it. Even as of this year, there are articles all over Google explaining legal cases that Worlds Inc. has filed
Worlds
against
vs.
companies and
Bungie?
IPs such as Second Life, Blizzard, Bungie, and more. And according to a Vice article from 2015,
They ever won?
Kidron rakes in a whopping $200,000 a year from his court proceedings. This
No way.
effectively explains away the server cost. When not many, if any players play your game at all, the result of this is cheap upkeep, low bandwidth, low server costs. Ergo, he's raking in cash with a positive net income. In the US, the typical patent lifespan is 20 years, so at the time of writing this, we have just short of 9 months before Kidron would either have to renew or simply let it expire. As a result of
I'm
this,
sure he renewed.
if he so chooses, he could let it run its course and retire from his relentless court proceedings. If he does, I wouldn't be surprised if the World's game goes down with it, effectively and permanently leaving this artifact of a game to die.
Someone do it for me. Did he renew it or did... Well, I already know he fucking renewed it.
So, all in all, as it turns out, Jimbly is the real enigma here. The custom worlds that he, and potentially others, have created are an indisputable testament to the underbelly of this archaic MMO. Today, it's unclear whether he's still active in the game or not.
Ooh,
even so,
it's a huge
the inner
tier
mechanisms
3.
of this fabled network are something
Rates
that perplexes
2?
me, as I see no end goal
Thank you.
other than to hoard a repository of
Appreciate the
images
huge
for
tier
his own
3.
enjoyment. Why he chose Worlds.com to do it is and will forever remain beyond me. Regardless, Worlds, whether still online by nefarious reasons or not, stands as somewhat of a time capsule to the primitive era of social gaming. Today, with the official non-custom Worlds, it stands as a corpse of the past, a window into what once was, and a sliver of mystical nostalgia, sending us back into a time when we all first discovered the world of the internet.
Very cute.
As far as we know, servers are, to this day, willingly being kept alive. Alongside this, the inevitable date that the game permanently goes offline is unclear, so if you're eager to experience this curiosity of old, then you better get on it soon. Stay in the official servers, and you'll be fine.
Oh, so this is not the game Vinny played. I looked when I was shitting. He played
aesthetic.
Active Worlds.
Otherwise, you'll run the risk of missing the nostalgic boat, leaving it to sail away, and for us to watch it go.
Yeah, so I feel like that was a bit off. Literally nothing cultish about that. You have a guy who's RPing, and you even mentioned that it's literally RPing, not really cultish. Jimbly, I think, is easily explained because it's clearly a lonely guy, and he asks for the pictures of anyone that plays and wants to be his friend. Not the most uncommon thing in the world. And the porn shit was just stock images, right? So it's not like I don't know where the cult was. Deadliest computer virus by Disrupt. The world's deadliest computer virus. Alright.
A 6.5 magnitude earthquake is shaking the foundations of the Bangai Islands. 93 million miles away, Mars, Mercury, Venus, Jupiter.
Oh, is it a
Saturn,
space virus?
And the Sun. All conjoined
Aliens hacked our hentai folders?
Back at the equator, it's early morning. A student presents an idea for his senior thesis. He says the internet has become too costly for the average person.
Damn, this is really well made. Holy shit.
He can create a program that would retrieve the account logins of other individuals, hijack their internet.
Thanks for resub, Tim Tom.
Obviously, he wouldn't release the bug. He just wants to show he can do it before graduation. The dean's response?
We do not. What does that say?
Student writes.
We do not produce burglocks. What is that, like a Magic the Gathering card? What the fuck is a burglock? We do not burger? No, it's not a burger. What the fuck is this? Burglars! Oh, this is a K. Oh, I thought this was a K. Burglars. He just, he forgot this part, so it looks like a K. Okay.
The last line of code. He originally developed it to be geolocked to Manila, a safety net. But last minute, out of sheer curiosity,
thanks to resub, Yanray.
He removes the geographic restriction. Shrouded in the universal message of peace, the file looks to be from a secret admirer.
Oh, this is like the... Ooh, this is a classic!
Once opened, the full file extension reveals itself.
Hey, thank
This
you,
is
Tip.
a visual
Thanks for resub,
basic
Come Dragon.
It uses an exploit in early computer systems that allowed it to run system code simply by being opened. The top two files are sent to the Windows system folder, where they wait. The bottom one is sent to the Windows directory.
Production on this is off the fucking charts.
Key in the local machine registry. This causes other programs to run as soon as the system boots, before the user even has a chance to log in. From there, it opens Internet Explorer and randomly picks from a series of 4 web pages. Once landed, it downloads winbugsfix.exe. Then, it adds another registry key at the starting line.
Okay.
It gathers the system
What does it all mean?
Password, IP address,
Oh.
and remote access information, packages it up neatly, and sends it to mailme at super.net.ph. After the details are set,
I love that he has like his own little
searches
fucking
for
video
files
game world
containing
here to
extensions
enter.
like .js or
It's like Code Miko
.css.
shit.
It overwrites them with the file extension. It does the same for JPEGs and MP3s, rendering them completely unretrievable.
World's deadliest computer virus.
Once the damage is done, the worm enters Outlook, scans for emails, then sends itself using the originator's email
Thank you,
address.
Tier 1 Seagull and resub Rimbuck.
Destruction is now spreading through a message of peace and love.
You are watching Disrupt.
This is movie quality shit here.
From Philippines to Hong Kong, the virus has infected several large corporations and banks. Not only deleting important files within the companies, but grabbing the email listings of all individuals in contact. From there, it jumps to Europe, where it wreaks particular damage to the email servers within the House of Commons. They're forced to shut down, same with the Denmark Parliament. With classified documents in danger of being wiped out.
Who the fuck
US
opened
Air
I
Force
love you emails at the Parliament building? Nobody's getting an I love you message there.
That the Air Force had previously placed across bases throughout the country. It then creates a sort of window for centralized command to view
Exit Tier 1 Nathan, computer virus.
The email matches
Yeah,
the
but
description. Command sends a
not understanding,
TCP
like, the video.
reset to that desktop.
Just explaining the virus?
Yeah, and what? It's a like a history lesson.
Ugh.
The private
That's
sector
boring.
is not so lucky.
Oh,
Most
well, I
companies are
highly
using
disagree.
Outlook, including AT&T and Ford. They are forced to take their email servers offline.
Exit Tier 1 your friend
The
Tio
virus
and
has
the
now
Prime
affected
Nardo.
nearly 55 million computers. Along with the emails, a second spreader has been identified. Within the original files, one is named mirc.ini.
Oh, I thought it was going to be a dude's name. It was just a picture of my dad. He was spreading it back in 2000.
Contacts that the victim may share on a server. Instead of a love letter, though, it sends this message. Thinking it's a legit file, tech-savvy users of IRC would recognize the name, the author of MIRC. It's only after running the script.
Thanks to give sub your friend and the resub Kartik.
To do with it. Security analysts are scanning the virus, looking for clues as to the origin. They find that a component within closely resembles a password cracker named that was discovered 4 months earlier. They find within it signed names and resumes, an entry that says, in the resume portion is an extended list of
like the Joker with a calling card.
Along with a group title.
Good man.
This traces back to an after-school club at a computer college in the Philippines. An apartment is raided. Inside is a man, a woman, and an empty desk with a dusty outline of a Gateway Performance 1500.
I know.
The man, now identified as Romo Ramones, is the boyfriend of Irene de Guzman.
Oh, is this something that actually happened?
The older sister of a student in the college.
No, I thought it was just explaining what could have happened
just so
if this
happens to
happened.
be on the list.
What?
I didn't know that they actually had a virus go through. When was this?
2000.
Oh, well, that's why.
Exit tier 1. Pinkerton, the prime Kawarda. Resub Jake.
You're going to find that it's a lot lighter than usual as you drive eastbound from the...
That was Love Shack by the B-52s. You're listening to 102.7 KISS FM. Folks, it's a sunny 75.5 degrees in Los Angeles.
Fucking 3. Why would I know about this?
It's Win a Porsche Friday. You know the rules.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember it super well either, but I don't know why it'd be a fake history lesson.
I didn't realize that it was a history lesson. I mean, he's just explaining what happens if a virus goes through and all this stuff happens. I didn't know it was something that really happened that way. That it was just going through like this could happen if this...
I get
Very
ya.
recognizable as our current day web. This is before .coms and .orgs.
Hey, he said like a history lesson. Doesn't make me think it actually happened and it's an actual history lesson.
A telephone number for ARPANET was the first wide area network that allowed different connections to send information to each other. Also known,
I wonder if they're gonna bring up my old website here for evidence. I remember I had a Pixo.
his home modem. Sure enough,
Maybe that's the key.
He's gained access to the University of California, Berkeley. Diving further, he discovers there's potential government documents hidden behind a password. He tries guessing. He tries UCB.
Good guess.
Dante continues logging in. For him, it's less about obtaining sensitive information or leaking it, more about gaining power, snooping around, seeing how far he can cross the line. On one of his deep dives, he makes a fatal error. He forgets to mask his login name.
Why even make the login name your name?
Miles away.
Make it like Dick Hard Thundercock or something. Who cares?
He continues. The kid answers the door. He's greeted by the Los Angeles DA. They seize his computer, but since he's underage, he isn't charged.
Now he works for NSA.
In the back reaches
Tier 1
of a
Sentient
Menlo
Salt
Park
and the
storage
resub
facility,
Moshe and the 2 gift subs
workers are
Linen.
clearing out unpaid storage units.
Already
It's a
seen that
routine
Seagull.
job.
It's like a
Break
300
open
million
lock,
view video.
Clear out the belongings, auction off what they can. But in this particular unit, they find something. The Stanford Research Institute, one of the centers impacted by the previous escapades,
Is it Prime
reaches
Rye?
out to Kevin, proposing that he works for them, securing their network. The 18-year-old is hired.
Hey, congrats, Kevin! Fuck
He's
yeah!
gone to a few blocks from the main entrance
Big
of
pickup.
SRI. He spends his days working on encryption algorithms for secure military communications. He's successfully gone from an underground black hat hacker to a white hat hacker with a paycheck. Detective James Neal of the Menlo Park PD thinks he's looking at a standard case of stolen property. The storage bill is assigned to
Thanks to the anonymous gift sub.
John Anderson. A quick search finds this name to be a fake. Upon further inspection of the unit, the detective finds blank IDs and a document containing an unpublished number of the Soviet embassy.
Oh boy!
Another document.
We've been infiltrated.
The name.
Thanks to the 5 gift subs, Shubi, and the Prime Urinal Goblin, and Dad Kisser. Cool name.
The National Bureau of Investigation issues a mandatory court appearance for 2 students. Onel de Guzman, who originally proposed the thesis, and Michael Buen, who is suspected to have helped write the structure of the worm.
This is his trial date still pending 21 years later. One day we'll ask him about it.
The worm continues its spread, though the effects are beginning to weaken. A press conference is called. The guest of honor, Onel de Guzman. When asked if he's the one who unleashed the virus, Onel states, and when questioned if he feels anything.
Oh come on, go hard with the supervillain shit.
Mumbles nothing, then covers his ears. Being the first large-scale computer crime out of the Philippines,
Thanks to the resub, Jeff.
Authorities have trouble charging Onel.
And drop bears.
Over the subsequent months,
All right, man. Hope you had a good day.
Congress passed legislation dealing with computer-related crimes. But seeing as this was made official after Onel's stunt, he can't be charged. Ultimately, the case against him boils down to credit card fraud. Onel never admits.
Thanks to 5 gift subs, Sticky Keys, and resub Plant.
He may have inadvertently released the program. All charges against him are dropped. In total, the estimated damages are said to exceed 7.8 billion US in wipe files.
Wow, not bad.
For cleanup.
Fuck yeah, Onel de Guzman. Congrats.
He finally admits to creating the virus and releasing it. He said he did it alone.
But why? What did he want? The madman.
ABS files have been written. And nope, it's been overwritten. It will not boot.
Exit Prime, Narfles, and
A
resub
cybersecurity specialist
Lyricity
is deep in an organization's
Yeah, we'll do Darkman in a bit.
He's well equipped to face any situation that may arise, but he started at the fundamentals. Is offering computer science courses at a fraction of the cost of traditional university rates.
Wait, this is absolutely an ad.
To become a network engineer, cybersecurity specialist.
Yeah, oh, it was still so well produced, I thought it was part of the hack. Shit, they almost had me. God, it's like the fucking Chris Angel pre-commercial, yeah, pre-commercial shit. It's so fucking cool.
For questioning. He denies everything.
Thanks, resub Zeus.
A few hours later, they accompany him to
I
his
thought that
condo.
said I forgot
Inside,
the law, not
they
I
find a
fought the
room full
law.
of more
I was like, what?
One of these is a lineman's headset. This device can be connected wherever there are exposed telephone wires accessible. When connected to a line, the handset is essentially indistinguishable from regular telephones, except it can intercept active calls, answer incoming calls, and make outgoing
Imagine
calls.
having to straighten all those wires
Back
out.
then, you needed a
Yeah.
license to operate it. Something Kevin is lacking. They confiscate some of the equipment and start their investigation.
Is that Kevin, that son of a bitch?
Documents and equipment. They
Going in there to flip over a fax
series of
machine?
Pictures. A young, slender male crouching down and picking the lock
Slender
of
Man.
a Pacific Bell trailer. Further pictures show
Whoa!
the same subject inside the telephone trailer, posing with it.
We got him! Thanks to the resub Shibay.
Past 4 years, Poulsen has been finding a particular thrill in dumpster diving.
Okay.
This will be your last chance to get the...
Who doesn't love a good
He's
dumpster,
using
huh?
those to gain access to physical networks.
Have you ever
FBI
dumpster dived?
agents
Nope.
silently surround
I just
Kevin's
like
home
garbage
in
trucks.
Hollywood. Then,
Like a real man.
the leader's phone rings.
Catch me if you can.
The agents immediately trace the call, only to be led straight to a Pacific Bell number. Instead of jumping town and heading out of the country, Kevin decides to
Thanks for
stay
5
close
resubs,
to
Chance.
home.
And resub
He dyes his
Nocturne.
hair a different color.
Thank you, Chance.
Picks up a new identity. To get some quick cash, he utilizes his phone line skills in an all-too-easy scheme.
We're sorry. All of our representatives are still assisting other customers.
It's a sunny 75.5 degrees in Los Angeles, and today isn't just any
Dark Souls win. Soon. We'll hit more Dark Souls soon.
It's Win a Porsche Friday. You know the rules.
Thanks to Tier 1 Monolithic.
I'm going to bed.
Sleep well.
Let's roll.
Kevin flips a switch, blocks every other caller from reaching the line. Now, any line that is picked up would redirect to him,
You don't have to be up for anything.
including the 102nd.
Not early.
Congratulations, you've won a brand new Porsche. Who's the lucky winner?
Wow, I can't believe it. This
Thanks to Tier 1 Gantz.
Michael B. Peters.
One can only speculate about what motivated Kevin Poulsen.
Oh, God.
Before he fled,
It's
agree that he's an unusual,
non-pedophile hunter Chris
great
Hansen.
young man, possibly a genius. But now he is a wanted man, facing up to 37 years in prison.
A TV show has just aired an episode about Kevin's hacks. The show opens their phone lines to callers that may have tips about the subjects. On the premiere of this particular episode, the phone lines are jammed.
Classic Kevin.
During his time laying,
He released an EMP
LA Vice
device.
Squad, a division focused on public order crimes like narcotics and gambling, pick up Kevin on an undisclosed minor crime. Eventually, though, they release him, failing to check the federal warrant database.
That was lucky.
The feds have received a tip that Kevin is still living in LA.
Thanks to gift sub against Sticky.
Question some of his acquaintances. One says that he frequents. They go to the store, give the employees his picture, and wait.
Just go to a different market. You can't be forming habits as a criminal.
Is working the night shift.
Gotta keep them on their toes.
He spots a familiar face. Kevin has dyed his hair a light blonde, but it isn't enough.
Hey, Wheeler, thanks for the 5 gift subs, man.
Dials the authorities, ensuring Kevin doesn't spot him. By the time they arrive, Kevin is gone. For the next 24 hours, the agent on duty, Terry, stakes out the parking lot.
Thanks to the Prime,
pulls
see
up.
that?
Terry takes a position at the front door. 2 clerks sneak up behind Kevin and tackle him to the ground. Hearing the
But it
commotion,
wasn't
Terry
Kevin.
runs in.
It was a 9-year-old schoolboy Kevin
Bring
paid
him into the back room
to impersonate him.
Transportation can arrive. As if on cue, Kevin begins complaining that his eyes are watering. He requests that he take his contact lenses out and get the glasses from a bag in his car. Terry agrees and retrieves the bag, but he checks it before handing it over. Sure enough, in the glasses case is a universal handcuff key.
Oh, wait, what? I still think it's super dumb that all handcuffs use the same key. I think that's so fucking dumb. What an oversight.
She recognizes the phrase and calls one of Kevin's hacker friends, who subsequently retrieves an incriminating computer from an undisclosed location. However, the police are a step ahead. Months earlier, they recruited a local hacker to infiltrate the local LA hacker circle. He rings the bell and the incriminating computer is intercepted. It takes nearly 9 months for them to decrypt it. Nearly 2 years after his arrest, Poulsen is accused of 19 counts that include conspiracy,
rough.
connection with access devices,
They got him.
interception of wire or electronic communications, and money laundering. He faces 100 years in prison and nearly $5 million in fines.
Give him a job.
This is considered one of the first large-scale cases against the newly defined
Thank you,
crime
Prime Toad.
of hacking. If successfully charged, they hope to send a clear message to the mid-90s hacking community. Eventually, Poulsen pleads guilty to several counts of computer fraud.
Why are
fraud,
people arrested
wire
for
fraud,
money laundering?
And money laundering. He's ordered to
Are
pay
you serious?
$58K in fines and given a 51-month sentence. Kevin is released on parole. By court order, he's barred from using computers. For the first time in the 2000s, he flips the switch. He gains access.
No, Kevin, fuck! Wait, 2012?
Okay, this is the question. Did I ever consider leaving California altogether and going across the country? I did consider that, but... And
I
think
don't
this-
think I'm going
this
to
might
watch
be part
CSGO
of the
Rage.
hacker
It doesn't
mindset.
sound very
I
fun.
wanted to solve the problem, not run away from it.
Oh, I thought he turned into Tony Hawk for a second. He gave up hacking and now he just skateboards.
Hey, so I was just thinking about how everyone in the world has their own conscience, their own lives, everything. Everyone alive is living. So then I thought about how much computer processing power it would
Pretty
take to
impressive.
simulate, everybody's
Not
conscience.
bad.
I'm not saying that our universe is simulated. I don't actually believe in that theory.
Oh, okay.
All I'm
okay.
saying is that...
Is this Kevin?
Just stop for a moment and think about how much processor power would be required to simulate everybody's conscience. Another thing...
Okay. We don't need to get too deep into the weeds of simulated universe, I suppose.
Just let me know.
I haven't seen the, LEMMiNO's video on it. I just meant I remember the event. Did they solve it? No. At least they give some bill. No. Yeah, I mean, I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure it's still unsolved. They just have a working theory. Yeah, no, it's still not solved. It's just working theories. Seems to be some punk chick in the 5 gift subs sweat. Thank you, man.
Delivery manager.
Appreciate it. Thank you, sweat. Thank you for a long time of watching, handyman.
Malaysian 370, standby.
At Kuala Lumpur International Airport, a Boeing 777 is preparing for departure.
Malaysian 370, request level. 370, we are ready, requesting flight level 350 to Beijing.
The unidentifiable.
Malaysian Airlines
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Flight 370 is a daily passenger flight between Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia and Beijing, China.
370, 32 right of takeoff. Nice.
42 minutes
some
past
cold.
midnight, Flight 370 is given clearance to depart.
The
On
bit
board
beef.
are Captain Zahari Ahmad Shah, First Officer Farik Abdul Hamid, 10 cabin crew members, and 227 passengers.
Was this plane ever found? I don't know. I don't know.
Malaysian 370, Lumpur radar, good morning, climb flight level 250. Morning, level
Thanks for the bits,
250,
Lemoy.
Malaysian 370. Malaysian 370, climb flight level 350. Climb level 350, Malaysian 370.
Less than an hour into the flight, the plane is cruising over the South China Sea at an altitude of 35,000 feet. The night sky is clear, and the weather
They
is
found
calm.
pieces, but not the whole
Flight
thing.
370 is then instructed to signal air traffic control in Ho Chi Minh, Vietnam, as it is about to enter Vietnamese airspace. The flight controller in Kuala Lumpur says goodnight, with no sign that anything should be amiss.
Malaysian 370, maintaining level 350. Malaysian 370. Malaysian 370, maintaining level 350. Malaysian 370. Malaysian 370, contact Ho Chi Minh 120.9. Good night. Good night, Malaysian 370.
Thanks, 3 sub acid redemption. Yeah, I know
1
Jeremy
minute
do it.
And 43 seconds later, the aircraft suddenly vanish from radar screens at Kuala Lumpur, Ho Chi Minh, and Bangkok.
What?
This form of positional tracking depends on a signal being emitted by one of two transponders aboard a plane, and so its disappearance would suggest both transponders ceased to function, or the system was manually deactivated by someone on board. All subsequent attempts to contact and ascertain the whereabouts of Flight 370 are unsuccessful. The aircraft has seemingly vanished without a trace. After missing its scheduled time of arrival in Beijing some 4 hours later, Flight 370 is officially declared missing. And in the wake of that announcement, the most expensive search effort in aviation history is about to commence.
And then I remember like a year after this, Malaysian Airlines also had another plane go missing or another accident, I don't recall. But that one was really fucking eerie because one of the passengers had tweeted, "Here's my flight if it goes missing," and then it actually fucking did.
Of the flight's disappearance between the South China Sea and the Gulf of Thailand. The search area was soon expanded, however, after the Malaysian military disclosed additional information. Unlike the radar system employed by air traffic control, long-range military radar does not rely on transponders but use reflectance to track the position
Just done work with them
A
through the
review of the
company and
data
then became
collected by the
friends.
Malaysian military revealed that moments after contact with Flight 370 was lost, the aircraft had deviated from its scheduled flight path with a subtle turn to the right,
Yeah, you just haven't
followed by
found
a
it scary.
prolonged turn to the left. The aircraft had then flown back towards and across the Malaysian peninsula before turning right near the island of Penang. It maintained this northwesterly heading until it escaped the radar's coverage. Over the next few days, the Strait of Malacca, the Andaman Sea, and the Bay of Bengal was scoured by a multinational fleet of aircraft and vessels, but there was no trace of Flight 370. Meanwhile, investigators began to analyze the aircraft's satellite communication records.
What the fuck?
Like all modern airliners, Flight 370 was equipped with a satellite communications terminal, or SATCOM, to send and receive transmissions to and from the ground. Prior to departure, the SATCOM terminal had logged onto the satellite network and established a connection with a ground station in Perth, Australia. That station then maintained a detailed record of all the incoming and outgoing traffic between it and Flight 370. This is what it contained. Prior to the flight's disappearance over the South China Sea, everything appeared to be working as intended. Then, at some point during this portion of the flight, the SATCOM link was severed.
What happened? Did they see like a fucking dragon in the sky and just like get the fuck away from it?
3 minutes after
Jesus
the flight
Christ.
vanished over the Andaman Sea, the terminal requested to log back onto the network. The SATCOM link was successfully re-established and was not disrupted again until nearly 6 hours later, when the flight is presumed to have crashed due to fuel exhaustion. During these final hours, 2 attempts were made to contact the plane via satellite telephone. Both calls were acknowledged by the SATCOM terminal and would have been routed to the cockpit. Yet, they went unanswered. The terminal had also responded to 5 automatic status requests. In short, if the ground station had not heard from the aircraft in over an hour, it would transmit a signal to confirm the terminal was still online.
It's a real story.
While these transmissions did not contain any information about the flight's position, investigators were able to measure the distance between the satellite and the aircraft at the time of each transmission, based on how long it took those transmissions to be sent and received. This generated 7 rings of possible locations from which 7 of these transmissions are thought to have originated. By taking fuel consumption, speed, and other factors into account, flight path analysis indicated the most probable origin of the final transmission to be somewhere along this arc in the southern Indian Ocean. The search effort shifted accordingly, and as the region fell within the jurisdiction of Australia, the Australian government took charge of the operation. Over the next few weeks, the search area was progressively
Why
refined
hijack
to
and not
account
make
for
any
oceanic
demands?
drift as well as improve
Good
estimations
point.
of the flight path. But this
Yeah, what
part
would
of
they
the
hope to
southern
accomplish
Indian
with
Ocean
hijacking it?
is so remote it took
Win the
6
plane?
days just to get there. A new fleet of aircraft and vessels gradually covered more than 4.5 million square kilometers of ocean, but Flight 370 was nowhere to be found. If the impact with the ocean had been sufficiently forceful, it was possible the resulting sound had been recorded by underwater listening devices known as hydrophones. This possibility was investigated, and 4 hydroacoustic monitoring stations had recorded something.
It is crazy how much shit there is like already in the world. Like If it crashes in the middle of nowhere, luckily we still have these robo-lizards that we have just for monitoring. Might be picked up by one of those.
While the timing and direction of the sound were reasonably consistent with the final satellite transmission, the estimated origin was not. The sound was in all likelihood caused by nothing more than geological activity. Flight 370 was also equipped with 2 underwater locator beacons which had a battery life of some 40 days, and as the deadline approached in early April, signals with a pulse and frequency somewhat similar to the signal emitted by the beacons were detected at depths of up to 3,000 meters. An autonomous submersible then spent weeks scanning the seafloor where the signals had been detected, but no wreckage was ever found. And nothing would be found until more than 16 months later, when a discovery was made on the opposite side of the Indian Ocean. On the 29th of July 2015, a group of people were cleaning up a beach in Reunion, a small island to the east of Madagascar, when they stumbled upon this 2-meter-long metallic object covered in barnacles. Aviation experts quickly identified the object as a section of an aircraft.
I guess I've never seen a barnacle. Looks like it's fucking growing almonds. Or like little sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds or something. Damn, barnacles are fucking weird.
Covered in barnacles. Aviation experts quickly identified the object as a section of an aircraft wing known as a flaperon. Upon closer inspection, internal markings including dates and serial numbers conclusively ascertained the flaperon belonged to Flight 370. Even though Reunion Island is some 4,000 kilometers west of the search area, and more than a year had gone by since the flight disappeared, the location was consistent with simulations of debris dispersal patterns. There was now tangible evidence that Flight 370 had crashed somewhere in the Indian Ocean. The discovery of the flaperon prompted numerous searches along beaches and shorelines of southeastern Africa, and at least 31 additional items of interest have since been recovered and examined. Some of these items include a section of the outboard flap from the right wing, a piece of cowling from one of the 2 engines, a partial door from the nose landing gear, a section of the vertical stabilizer.
I fucking hate airplanes, man.
From one of the embedded headrests.
This is why I don't fly. This shit is terrifying.
18 of these items were identified as either likely, highly likely, or almost certain to have originated from Flight 370. Whereas only 3 could be confirmed. The remaining 11 could not be identified. There were no traces of an explosion found on any of the debris tested, nor was there any evidence of a fire except for 3 small burn marks on one of the unidentifiable items. The search for debris was further aided by Earth observation satellites. Analyses of satellite imagery from March of 2014 uncovered a number of images which appeared to feature man-made objects floating on or just below the surface in the southern Indian Ocean. However, the images were not nearly sharp enough to resolve any identifiable markings, and multiple searches notwithstanding, this debris was never recovered. A satellite image taken mere hours after the final transmission also captured what appeared to be a contrail some distance away from the search area. A later analysis, however, concluded it was most likely a shadow from a somewhat linear cloud formation. The underwater portion of the search continued for months and eventually years before it was finally suspended in early 2017, by which point some 120,000 square kilometers of seabed had been scrutinized. The search effort was then resumed by an American salvage company known as Ocean Infinity, but after more than a year of searching,
how would they have done that, Ryan?
Unless the final resting place of Flight 370 can be located, it may be impossible to determine exactly why it crashed. Nevertheless, there have been no shortage of theories. On the day of the disappearance, 2 of the passengers raised suspicion as they had boarded the flight with stolen passports, which immediately prompted concerns of a hijacking. But investigators were unable to link the 2 men to any terrorist organizations, and soon determined they had traveled under false identities because they were seeking asylum, not due to any nefarious intent.
Yeah, like hijacking wouldn't make any sense. They didn't make any demands.
Passengers were identified as a flight engineer who might have possessed the necessary expertise to take control of a Boeing 777. Apart from the 239 persons on board, Flight 370 carried nearly 11 metric tons of cargo, Among the items listed on the flight manifest was a shipment of lithium-ion batteries, which led some to suspect a fire might have broken out mid-flight. For instance, the crash of
Why do we
UPS
still
Airlines
use lithium
Flight 6
batteries?
in September of 2010
Nothing good comes
was the
from that
result
shit.
of a fire that was ignited by a pallet of lithium-ion batteries. Another potential source of ignition would be an electrical malfunction. The crash of Swiss Air Flight 111 in September of 1998 is thought to have been caused by a fire
Your
within
phone?
the electrical wiring above
My
the
phone
cockpit.
doesn't use lithium-ion
The fire
batteries,
damaged and
ion
disabled
batteries.
multiple avionic
It's an
systems,
iPhone.
including the
It uses
transponders
children's
and
tears to
SATCOM.
power it.
In the case of Flight 370, the sudden loss of communication and subsequent deviation
Thanks
from
to
its
Tier 1,
scheduled
hello there.
flight path might have been a direct response to a fire. The two pilots may have turned back towards Malaysia to attempt an emergency landing at the nearest suitable airport. But no such attempt was ever made. Instead, Flight 370 kept going and remained aloft for another 6 hours. Some have theorized the crew might have been incapacitated by a sudden or gradual loss of cabin pressure. For instance, when Helios Airways Flight 522 failed to pressurize in August of 2005, the pilots quickly fell unconscious. Yet the aircraft continued to fly on autopilot for more than 2 hours until it ran out of fuel. Airline pilots are of course trained for such an event.
Wait, what
In the
the
event of cabin
fuck?
depressurization, they fell unconscious.
Wait, did it crash or did it land itself? What the fuck? We have the capability for the plane to just completely fly itself on the pattern? I thought you still needed the pilot present to guide it. I thought it was just kind of like activating cruise control in your car. Hold on a second. Did it crash or did it like just have a successful landing all autonomously? Oh, it crashed. Oh, fuck. So it didn't pressurize and everyone was incapacitated. Holy shit. Oh, did he say it crashed? Oh, I just looked at this. I didn't even notice it said crashed. Oh, that'll do it. Thanks to the resub, Erotic and J. Cuddy.
Yet the aircraft continued to fly on autopilot for more than 2 hours until it ran out of fuel. Airline pilots are of course trained for such an event. In the event of cabin depressurization, an automatic system is designed to deploy oxygen masks to give the pilots enough time to perform an emergency descent
Thanks for the
to a
3,
more
chaotic.
breathable altitude. The data recorded by the Malaysian military radar does indeed contain altitude
Maybe
information,
scary.
but it is highly inconsistent. In fact, the Boeing 777 is incapable of performing the extreme altitude fluctuations recorded. At one point, the aircraft exceeded its maximum operating altitude by more than 15,000 feet, before making a 50,000 feet nosedive in less than a minute. Attempts to recreate these maneuvers on a flight simulator were unsuccessful, and thus the data was deemed inaccurate and unreliable. If Flight 370 did lose cabin pressure at 35,000 feet, and the pilots were incapacitated before descending to a more oxygenated altitude, it might explain why the aircraft remained aloft for as long as it did. What is a bit more difficult to explain, however, are these alterations in heading. Flight simulations have established the aircraft must have been under manual control during the initial left turn, as the bank angle or inclination of that turn was beyond the limits of the autopilot. Subsequent turns, however, could have been either manual or automatic. But for the autopilot to have made these course corrections, someone with the requisite knowledge must have programmed it to do so.
What
the
the
only
fuck?
other alternative is that the aircraft was in fact under manual control.
Thanks for the bits, beef, and hello there. Yeah, I was talking about it the other day, hello there. I still haven't caught up on all of it, but yeah, it's a pretty fucked situation.
In late June of 2014, several news outlets reported that a special investigation had identified the captain of Flight 370 as a prime suspect. A search of the captain's home had uncovered a flight simulator which supposedly contained a suspicious route which ended in the southern Indian Ocean. At the time, there was no official acknowledgement that such a route had been recovered, and a lengthy public report issued by the Malaysian government in 2015 made no mention of such a discovery. Then, in 2016, confidential documents pertaining to a forensic examination conducted by the Royal Malaysia Police in May of 2014 was leaked to the media. These documents made it clear that such a route had not only been recovered, but thoroughly examined. Soon thereafter, the Malaysian government confirmed the existence of this simulated flight path, and this is what it looks like. It should come as no surprise that many regard this as damning evidence of premeditation, but according to investigators, it is not quite so evident. The data recovered consists of 7 coordinates, 2 in Kuala Lumpur, 2 in the Strait of Malacca.
What was he planning to do? Drive it straight to fucking Antarctica?
And 2 in the southern Indian Ocean. The data was reconstructed from a file that had been automatically generated and saved by the simulation software a month before the incident. However, it's not clear whether the coordinates originate from the same flight session. In other words, it might not be correct to simply trace a continuous line between these 7 coordinates, as they could be from separate sessions. The forensic examination by the Royal Malaysia Police simply concluded no activity captured conclusively indicate any kind of premeditated act pertaining to the incident of MH370.
There's a bit sweeper.
Even so, the similarities between the simulated route and the presumed route of Flight 370 directly influenced the search operation. Australian investigators considered the possibility of someone deliberately extending the range of the flight by gliding the aircraft off the fuel exhaustion. If so, the plane could have traveled an additional 200 kilometers. Alternatively, the range could have been reduced by a controlled ditching prior to fuel exhaustion. While ultimately deemed unlikely, these 2 scenarios did affect the search effort. If the captain steered Flight 370 off course with the intention of crashing in a remote part of the southern Indian Ocean, his motive is an even greater mystery. Zahari Ahmad Shah was 53 and married with 3 children. He had more than 18,000 hours of flight experience and a spotless track record. Investigators found no evidence of financial issues, and his monthly expenses before the disappearance indicated nothing unusual. He had no history of mental illness, nor had he displayed any recent changes in lifestyle or behavior. He was raised on the island of Penang, which has led some to speculate the flight's second turn to the southwest of Penang was the captain getting a final view of his hometown. Some believe a hijacking could have been politically motivated, as Zahari was an avid supporter of a democratic opposition leader who was sentenced to 5 years in prison mere hours before Flight 370 took off. Others point to unconfirmed reports of marital issues, but this is contradicted by the official investigation and disputed by family members. The only real inconsistency noted by the final report is that the captain failed to repeat the assigned radio frequency during the last verbal communication.
Malaysian 370, contact Ho Chi Minh 120.9. Good night. Good night, Malaysian 370.
It would have been standard procedure to repeat the assigned frequency, as the captain had correctly done a few minutes prior.
370, contact Lampur Radar 1326. Good night.
Alright, 1326 Malaysian 370.
Whether this omission is indicative of anything but a mistake is anyone's best guess.
Yeah, I don't think that means
shit. By all accounts, Captain Zahari was an affable and well-respected pilot who was passionate about aviation, as evident by the photos and videos he shared on social media.
Hi everyone, this is a YouTube video that I made.
Oh, that's kind of cute.
Community service after learning.
The co-pilot was found to be even less conspicuous. Farik Abdul Hamid was only 27, and due to marry a fellow pilot, he had nearly 3,000 hours of flight experience, although only 39 hours in this type of aircraft. Much like Zahari, Farik had no financial, mental, or interpersonal issues of note, nor was there any evidence of conflict between the two of them. Some questioned the plausibility of a pilot-instigated hijacking due to the apparent lack of interference by the other pilot. Well, when Ethiopian Airlines Flight 702 was hijacked by the co-pilot in February of 2014, he did so by merely waiting for the captain to take a bathroom break before locking the cockpit door behind him. The co-pilot was then free to divert the Italy-bound flight to Switzerland to seek asylum. The only noteworthy piece of evidence in regards to the co-pilot of Flight 370 is his phone. You see, when the confidential documents were leaked, they also confirmed another long-circulated rumor, namely that a cell phone tower had briefly established a connection with an iPhone 5S belonging to the co-pilot as Flight 370 approached the island of Penang. According to investigators, it was not a phone call as has been widely reported by the media, but merely an automatic location signal. Why this information was omitted from public reports, we may never know. So what is one to make of all of this? On the one hand, the simulated flight path seems suspicious. On the other, it is difficult to cast any substantial doubt on either of the two pilots' character.
Yeah, I mean, the dude
It
seems
is equally
nice. Like, I don't think
to
it was
deny a hijacking is
on
consistent
purpose.
with the available evidence. Then again, we're missing some quite major and literal pieces of evidence. The final report issued by the Malaysian government in 2018 could not attribute the loss of communication nor diversion of Flight 370 to a malfunction. Instead,
Thanks to
it is
Tier 1
believed that someone
Afghan.
manually manipulated the aircraft and its systems. For instance, investigators believe SATCOM was manually disabled by a sudden and prolonged
Jesus
interruption of power. Then, once power was restored, the terminal simply rebooted. Likewise, the alterations in heading are believed to be the result of manual inputs. With that being said, the uncertainty of these findings are repeatedly emphasized due to the limited evidence available, and the report does never explicitly state the flight was hijacked. In fact, no real conclusion is reached. Both the Malaysian and Australian government agree that Flight 370 crashed in the southern Indian Ocean, but that the cause is indeterminable without the wreckage, the location of which has managed to elude some of the foremost aviation experts in the world, as well as an impressive arsenal of cutting-edge technology for more than half a decade. Authors, aviation experts, and independent investigators have all chimed in to offer their own thoughts and theories as to the nature of the crash and the location of the wreckage. Some believe there was no crash, but that the aircraft was shot down by an American naval base in the middle of the Indian Ocean. The satellite transmissions were then supposedly
That wouldn't
forged
make any sense,
as part of
though.
a massive cover-up.
Wouldn't explain
Others
this.
believe the aircraft turned right towards India and traveled as far north as Kazakhstan, completely undetected. Debris was then supposedly planted along shorelines of southeastern Africa as
okay.
part of a massive cover-up.
Makes sense, I guess.
Another theory suggests the aircraft was remotely hijacked and controlled by someone on the ground.
Thanks to Prime
While
Break.
Boeing and other companies have experimented with technology that would allow for an aircraft to be remotely controlled, no commercial airliner is known to be outfitted with such a system. On the less conspiratorial side, the assumption that Flight 370 flew in a straight line and at a constant speed after turning left towards the southern Indian Ocean might simply be incorrect. In early 2018, a French team of independent investigators proposed an alternate flight path, whereby an attempted landing on Christmas Island led to a crash site much further north than the region identified by the
Christmas
official
Island,
investigation.
huh?
While a surface search of this area was conducted about a week after the disappearance,
What are the odds?
the underwater phase never reached this far north.
Thanks to the resub, Jimmy.
As of the making of this video, the search operation
I have
has
no
been
idea when
suspended, but there have been talks of potentially resuming the search. For now, it seems, the vanishing of Flight 370 will remain a mystery.
I had no idea it was that deep. From what I remember, I thought it was just pretty well understood that it crashed. And I thought it was just like a straight line and then something happened, they didn't know what. I had no idea there was this whole like turn, all this shit. I had no clue. That is so fucking weird. So the first turn had to be manual. They had to manually turn off the systems like shit. Why do people keep saying shot down? That wouldn't make any sense. That doesn't explain this at all. And also why the systems would be turned off. It was shot down by 5G towers. Yeah, maybe that makes more sense. Thanks for the gift sub, Skittle, and the resub, Jimmy. What an interesting fucking mystery, man. Yeah, I fucking hate planes. If even one plane malfunctions and crashes, I'm never going on one. It's fucking horrifying. I wish we could just have some sci-fi shit, or it's just a giant portal that rips through space-time continuum, so that way you don't have to be, like, reatomized. You just... Like in Jumper, you know? Or not Jumper. Doctor Strange. You just open this giant thing and you see the other side and you just step right through. Simple and easy. Oh, this is very peculiar. It must be a child on the other side of that door that's haunting the apartment complex. That's the only explanation for this weird behavior from the cat. Popey the pirate?
Just over a week ago, the internet became fascinated with something rather strange that was unfolding on Twitter. A writer and illustrator by the name of Adam
Oh
Ellis
my
posted a claim
fucking
that he was
god,
being
I remember
haunted by the
this.
spirit of a dead child. The following is his story.
Oh,
August 7th.
Jesus Christ.
My apartment is currently being haunted by the ghost of a dead child, and he's trying to kill me. He started appearing in dreams, but I think he's crossed over into the real world now.
Thanks for the resub, your boy Circle.
The first time I saw him,
And
I was
T-Bros.
experiencing sleep paralysis and saw a child sitting in the green rocking chair at the foot of my bed. He had a huge, misshapen head that was dented on one side. I did my best to draw it.
I'm gonna tell you, the explanation is
For a
it's
while, he
bullshit.
just stared at me,
What do you
but
mean?
Then he got out of the chair and started shambling towards the bed. I couldn't move because I was paralyzed. I have sleep paralysis fairly often, and it sucks. Right before he reached my bed, I woke up screaming. I had another dream a few nights later where I was in a library and a girl came up to me and said, "You've seen Dear David, haven't you?" I asked, "Who?" And she said, "Dear David."
Thanks for the resub, that
You
one
saw
zone.
him." She continued, "He's dead. He only appears at midnight, and you can ask him 2 questions if you said Dear David first." Then she added, "But never try to ask him a 3rd question, or he'll kill you." Then David came back in another dream.
Okay.
Same situation. I was in bed, and he was sitting at the rocking chair near the window, staring at me. In the dream, I say, "Dear David, how did you die?" He mumbles, "An accident in a store."
Be
I
more
say,
specific, asshole.
"Dear David, what happened in the store?"
Yeah, good question.
He groans. "A shelf was pushed on my head."
Wow,
I'm frozen
boy.
with fear. I ask, "Who pushed
3
the shelf?"
questions!
David
Adam!
doesn't answer.
Adam!
I realize that I've asked the 3rd question, which I'm
No!
not supposed to do. At that point, I wake up, absolutely terrified. Over the next couple days, I googled deaths in the city, but
Thanks to give sub Meldrum
I can't
the
find
resub
anything about a
nanometer.
kid named David dying in a store. I even tried different names: Daniel, Dylan, Devin. Nothing. A few weeks go by without incident. Sort of randomly, the apartment above mine is vacated, and I have the opportunity to move into it. It's a larger apartment, so I'm thrilled. Another month or 2
I
goes
appreciate
by,
that. Thank you,
and
Nats.
I sort of forget about Dear David.
Thank you for the 25
I
gift
think
subs,
he lost track of me
Reningez.
because I moved upstairs.
Jesus, thank you, Reningez.
But lately something strange is
I
happening.
really appreciate it.
For the past 4 nights, my cats gather at the front door at exactly midnight and just stare at it.
Oh, God.
Almost like something is on the other side. Last night, I got a weird feeling and looked out the peephole, and I'm dead certain I saw movement on the other side. When I opened the door and turned on the hall light, nothing was there, but my cat seemed unnerved, bushy tails, etc. And that's where I am right now. Dear David found me, I think. I don't know what to do, but...
Well, you already know his weakness. It's shelves. Push a shelf on him.
For the 6th night
He
in a
literally
row,
told you how to beat
my
him.
cat has walked over to the door promptly at midnight and stared at it. What is going on?
Thanks, Resub Retro. Oh, this is very peculiar. It must be a child on the other side of that door that's haunting the apartment complex. That's the only explanation for this weird behavior from the cat.
Okay, so I took a photo through the peephole because I'm too scared to open the door.
Thanks to Tier 1
I
Meldrum.
feel like I saw something. I couldn't tell,
Bright
so I
insight?
mustered up the courage to
Okay.
open the door. Nothing was out there, but I took another photo. Look at this. Is it just me, or is there something in the first photo right where the banister meets the shelves, hiding in the stairs? I wasn't sure if it was a smudge or something like that, so I took a second photo from inside.
Oh no.
There was something out there. I deadbolted the door and got in bed because I don't know what else to do.
Okay, your cat's
I can
got
still
laser
hear my
eyes.
cat meowing at the door.
That should be the primary
I'm
concern.
pretty scared. This initial thread was posted between August 7th and August 8th, and on the next day, August 9th, Adam posted the following. Good morning. I thought I'd clarify a couple things for new followers. First of all, I am alive.
Thanks to Tier
Secondly,
1
I've
Mista
tested the
and the
apartment for
Prime
carbon
BG.
monoxide, so I know I'm not being slowly poisoned. Last, I do have a book coming out next year, but it has nothing to do with
Oh,
COVID.
that's weird.
This isn't viral marketing, it's just a book of funny comics. So I hope that clears things up. I'll keep you all updated should more weird stuff occur. Later, Adam returns again, this time saying he's downloaded a sleep talk app to see if he can manage to record anything strange.
He's the Prime
He also
Jacob.
posts yet another picture of his cats monitoring the door, which he says has become routine at this point. The next morning on August 10th, David says that the sleep app picked up way too much noise the night before, and that he was going to try playing with the settings to see if it would help. Later that night, he posts more pictures and videos of his cats at the door just before midnight, as expected. August 11th. We're once again given more updates from Adam. I used a sound app to record my apartment last night. It makes individual recordings each time it hears something. There were 33 recordings.
It's just David farting into
Most
it.
of them are pretty vague. A couple of them are passing cars and such, but there are 3 that I'm actually interested in. The first one is a snapping sound and what seems like a single step.
Thanks for the gift sub, newbie.
It's odd because I didn't get out of bed all night.
No, what the fuck is that?
This one is weird because out of 33 recordings, this is the only one that has that strange electric sound throughout.
Holy shit. Emperor Palpatine's in his living room shooting lightning. There's the Prime
This directly
Velocity.
follows the electric static. Another snap and then I groan in my sleep. These happen between 2 to 3 in the morning. I have no explanation for them. I'll keep recording and share if I find anything curious. After this, Adam posts a few tweets saying that he's going to be out of town for the weekend, and that in the meantime he's gathered up supplies for when he returns. Things like sage, stones, and a Ouija board.
That ought to help.
August 13th. Adam has returned home and begins updating us once again. So, a weird thing just happened. Take it with a grain of salt. I bought a Polaroid camera this weekend.
Perhaps it was
because
the
they're
cats.
Fun and dorky, and I decided to take a few photos around my apartment. Polaroids are stupid and fun and inherently sort of creepy.
Exit Tier 1 faded.
I didn't expect to find anything, and for the most part,
That's
I
so
didn't.
sweet.
I took a couple of my living room.
Hope you and
my
Danielle are
bedroom.
happy.
That's the rocking chair where I first saw David. They're pretty unremarkable. Then I went into the hallway and snapped a photo. The
What is this
Polaroid developed
soundtrack?
completely
Just
black.
feet stomping?
I even ripped open and destroyed a fresh pack just to see if it was an undeveloped Polaroid, but they start out white. I also thought that maybe I accidentally covered the lens with my finger.
Jesus. What the fuck? Why is that background music so loud? It's just stomping.
So I took a photo while intentionally covering it. The photo on the left is me covering the lens with my finger. The one on the right is my fully lit hallway taken just after midnight. Okay, so one last thing because I wanted to double check. Here's a couple of videos of me taking the photos.
Okay, here's my living room. Okay. Now I'm gonna.
Actually, give
take a
sub
photo
dev.
of the hallway
We
just to
subvert.
show you what that's like.
That was a good opportunity to jump scare there, Adam. You fucked up.
And as you can see, the first one has already developed. So let's see what this one does. It's gonna take a minute.
No rush. No rush.
But it is developing black.
Oh my fucking god. How is that possible?
So I don't know.
Broken camera? Okay, Jesus Christ. I don't know why I have to explain it.
Adam tries taking another
Look.
picture of the hallway.
I'm assuming, I don't know, that I'd have to look at the Polaroid. Finger over the lens. It's not deeper than that. It's not a broken camera. It's pretty simple. There, you know what? Where is the lens? Maybe that's not it. Maybe it really is haunted. Ah, nope. Interesting. So it's right here, and his finger's kind of in that area. Probably just a coincidence.
I decided to take a few photos around.
You can see the first.
Let's double check though. It's about where it would be. Finger bent. It'd be probably just far enough to get over there.
And as you can see,
He never shows the front of the camera. Yeah, I mean, I guess he could tape it. Oh, you're right. The lens does pop out. Does that change anything? It's not that far. All it would change is up here, right? So instead of being like this, it'd be like this. I think it just makes it easier.
And as you can see, the first one has already developed. So let's see what this one does.
Thanks to the resub, Akin and Unbolted. The button to take the photos is on the front though. Jesus, alright. Someone give me the anatomy of the camera. I'll figure it out. This is the button you use to take? Is this it? You press this button to take a photo? Okay. So let's just assume it's curled up and bent in. Alright, then yeah, it's tape on the lens. Unless he's using his middle finger, which I can't see. He could be doing this kind of maneuver. But that seems like more effort than just putting tape on it. I can assure you it's not an actual haunted hallway.
Adam tries taking another picture of the hallway just to make sure, and according to him, it came out black yet again. Honestly, I don't know why I'm still fucking around with this camera. There might be a logical explanation.
Please reset DX.
Someone told me to take photos from farther away, so I tried that. Once with my iPhone and once with the Polaroid. Left is with my phone, right is with Polaroid. The hall light was on both times. Why is it pitch black each time with the Polaroid?
Whoa. Mystical properties of the Polaroid.
August 14th. Adam posts images of himself using the sage he ordered to cleanse his apartment, making sure not to miss the hallway and rocking chair. He updates us a few more times saying that the sage doesn't seem to help and that he barely slept the night before, and said that he kept waking up feeling like something was wrong.
Thanks to resub Oso.
August 15th. Sage didn't work. I haven't dreamed about David in a few months, but he appeared again last night. In the dream, my bedroom was filled with hazy smoke, but I could see David sitting on the chair across the room. He was smaller this time, almost shrunken.
Oh, he's getting less powerful.
Didn't do anything except look at me. Anyway,
Thanks to resub Barnum.
I feel like it's a bad omen.
And Hitori.
August
Gift
16th.
sub Meldrum.
Apparently strange faces have been showing up in some of the photos I take. A couple people have pointed this out, which I don't have a real explanation for. There's also this, which seems less weird, but still odd that it resembles David.
Oh my fucking god!
Think of it what you will. The second one doesn't alarm me so much, since it seems like it might just be a reflection. But that first one gives me the creeps.
It's David!
At the time of recording this video, these are the last updates we received from Adam. If you look at everything he's posted,
is he dead?
much of it can be easily debunked, but maybe that doesn't make it any less eerie. Given the technology we have these days, we're actually able to sit in and view these events as they supposedly unfold. As for what'll happen next, we're just going to have to wait and see.
What was his name, goddammit? What was it, like Adam Ellis?
I'm still fucking around with
Moby Dickhead. He deleted his account? Or maybe David deleted it for him. It's October, which is the unholy, cursed month where all the ghosts, ghouls, and demons come straight from hell to Earth to steal our V-Bucks and answer our 3 a.m. FaceTimes and haunt us. But, luckily, we're protected by the brave, shitty YouTubers making not scary, shitty videos about not scary shit. I figured for this month I'd watch a lot of this bullshit and just really get in the zone for Halloween and the mood for the spooky, scary shit. So we're going to start with watching a Stromedy video here on some dark web unboxing.
Okay guys, we just got it open. Oh my god. Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face, tell me that you love me.
I didn't care to look up much about this guy, so I don't really know what Stromedy means. It sounds like one of those auto-generated Xbox Live gamer tags, or maybe it's supposed to be like the combination of strong and comedy, but the guy's clearly not strong and there is no comedy in here.
So if you guys have been keeping up with the previous videos,
I haven't been.
You guys know about this whole entire Angela situation, guys.
I don't know shit about it.
Well, it turns out the Angela doll has still not shown up, guys.
I don't believe you.
So I guess until it shows up, guys, we cannot make any more videos about it.
What a shame.
I know you guys are very eager to see what is going on with the whole Angela thing. But
I'm not at all.
Literally, I have no idea where the hell it went. If
you're fucking lying to me.
You're new to the channel, you're gonna want to go watch the previous 4 videos on this channel, guys.
I'm absolutely not doing that.
It was absolutely insane. About 3 weeks ago, I ordered this dark web mystery box, guys.
No, you didn't.
Guys, so just before we actually jump right into the dark web unboxing video, I want to inform you guys that on the Stromedy merch website, guys, I lowered the price of all the hoodies, all the shirts. The link for that will be down below in the description, guys.
What a saint. Did you hear that? He lowered the price on his merch. Unbelievably. Just giving those bitches away now. They're fucking flying off the shelves, no doubt. I mean, that's why I clicked on this video for 3 minutes of a fucking Dragon Ball Z recap for your other shitty videos and then plugging your merch about how you've lowered the price. That's exactly what I was hoping for here, Stromedy. Thank you.
Went back on the dark web, otherwise known, guys, as the deep web, and ordered another mystery box, guys. A dark web mystery box.
Alright, you fucking normie. The dark web and the deep web are 2 separate things. The dark web is a portion of the deep web, but they're not the same thing. Please don't fuck up the nomenclature. Also, what the fuck is a dark web mystery box? What, you go on the dark web and they just have like an Amazon store where you click, I'd like a mystery box of decapitated heads and pig's feet or something? What do you mean? What kind of fucking mystery box would the dark web possibly have? Obviously it's fake. I'm not an idiot. I'm not 6 years old. I know it's fake. I know he didn't actually order a dark web mystery box, but just play with that idea in your head for a second. Why would the dark web have a mystery box that you can order where they just send you a bunch of trinkets and toys. It makes no sense at all. And when he gets to opening the box, it is quite literally just junk he found in his house and at Party City.
Box just showed up like an hour ago, guys. We're gonna get started with this unboxing. Check it out. It literally, like, DW. I don't even know. Oh, you know what? That stands for the dark web. That is so freaking crazy. Check it out.
Ace Detective asshole over here, cracking the code immediately. A regular old cryptologist here solving this puzzle. Yeah, DW most likely did stand for dark web. This is a pretty lazy attempt to make the dark web box. You just wrote DW on the side of a box you had in your garage. I think you definitely could have done a lot more with it, to be honest.
DW. I'm just taking a guess, guys. I think that stands for dark web. Like, what else would that stand for? Like, freaking, I don't even know, guys. I was gonna say something funny, but I couldn't think of anything. All right, we're gonna...
It's alright, Stromedy. You really gave it your best attempt there. You tried. Don't worry, though. I don't think there's a single person on this planet that expected you to say something that would make them laugh.
Holy crap, guys. Based on the first look inside this, the stuff in here is looking like it's worth a lot of money, guys. Like, holy crap. There is...
Not exactly the sharpest eyes on this kid. There's nothing on this first glance of the box that says value to me. This looks like some shit that a mom would be desperately trying to sell at a garage sale. Like, hey, I'll give you a blowjob if you just take this box of junk with you. But everyone actively declines it. No, Mrs. Johnson, we're not gonna let you suck our dicks for that box.
Okay, what the hell is this, guys? Holy crap. Freaking skull face on the front. Oh my god, I wonder who has touched that. More importantly, I wonder what it's worth. I'm trying to get my money back from buying this, guys.
Don't worry, Stromedy, I can price check that for you. I found it on Party City, but I decided to see what people are selling it for on eBay. I found a set of 4 for $10. You made a killing on this one, Stromedy.
What the hell is this? I don't know about you guys, but this looks like some sort of Egyptian thing. Guys, look at that. It's got like the old, like, Egyptian signs. It's got like hieroglyphic writing on the sides there. What the hell? Guys, the freaking knife. Guys, I literally have a knife exactly like this. That's so weird.
Holy shit, that is weird, Stromedy. You should take that knife that you have that looks like that one and put them side by side. The one you just pulled out of the box and the one that you had. The resemblance is probably uncanny. He went to Party City and just took a bunch of cheap shit to throw in the box, but realized he didn't get enough to pad out the video over 10 minutes. So then he started scrambling, just pulling shit from his house. In his kitchen, knife. Check. Yeah, that'll be scary. Oh, is that a Cheeto crumb on the floor? Bang, in the box. It's a cursed Cheeto crumb now. It's pathetic.
Oh my god. What is this? A mirror? Guys, I found like an old mirror. What is this? It's like some sort of bottle, guys. At the front it says blood. What the hell is this? Okay. Guys. Now we definitely know this box is from Egypt.
Can't argue with that. Now this case is closed. That is hard evidence that you cannot dispute.
That is so weird, guys. I wonder how much this is worth. Like, this could be real gold. What the hell?
Well, hey, look. I'm no expert, so please take this with a grain of salt. But just upon quick glance there, I can say with a high degree of certainty that that's not real gold.
Oh my god, it goes forever. Holy crap. Alright, guys, we found some, like, weird dark chain. And if you guys are thinking, oh, that's the chain from the other mystery box, it's literally not, guys. Like, you can go compare the colors.
Don't you dare question the reuse of props in Stromedy's videos. He would never. He went to a separate Party City for that chain. So don't you ever devalue the hard work he puts into these very creative and thought out dark web unboxing videos. Don't you dare. Get off your fucking high horse. That's not the same chain. I mean, that's basically the end of the video. He just keeps pulling out shit that he found in a trash can somewhere in a back alley and calls it a dark web unboxing. It's scary shit, and he's cursed now, obviously, so, I mean, hats off to you, Stromedy. My prayers go out to you. I hope everything works out for the best. But, yeah, I hope everyone was as frightened as I was while watching this, and that's it. See ya. Alright, let's watch something real scary. The top 5 scary ghost videos to scare you senseless. Alright. Hopefully I can take the fear.
Top 5 ghosts caught on camera. Child's play. When Ashley moves to a new home in Utah, she starts to see her children walking up and down the staircase on random occasions.
Oh, is this really loud?
Now, usually, Ashley's children walking up and down the stairs would be completely normal.
How's that?
But you see, this happens when Ashley's
Thanks for your
children
sub,
are asleep,
Cause.
or sometimes when they're not
Your
even
subs
at
beat.
home
Thank you, Beat.
at all.
Thanks for resub, Invader.
That's good to keep around.
Oh my god, it's a baby boy!
What are the other guys for that?
He activated cloaking.
There.
He's like the Predator.
Now this next video was shared to the internet without a source, so I'm not exactly sure what's going on here. The video shows what looks like security camera footage from a seemingly average home, but then something happens that's downright creepy.
Yeah, it's a... What the fuck is that? A smoke monster?
There's no source. I have no idea whether this footage is real or fake.
I can tell you, it's
but
real.
This creepy little ghost child
verified it.
is definitely spooky.
Oh, the alien's communicating or something? He's receiving instructions? Nice. Is that a Motorola Razr?
Out of nowhere, the boy just suddenly seems to stop and stare at someone or something that we can't see. Then, without a moment's hesitation, he drops to the ground and starts digging furiously with his hands and finds a random phone from...
Digging furiously, he dug twice and moved like maybe 5 pieces of mulch. What do you mean? He probably could just see the phone, like with this, like just see it straight up. But man, yeah, he fucking dug straight to hell there. God damn, I can't believe it.
From underneath the heavy pile of leaves. After watching the footage back later, Monique believes that something supernatural might have instructed her son to find that phone.
Hi guys, I'm just giving an update on
what kind of monster
happened
would
to
do
the phone.
that?
Well,
Hey,
I threw it
dig
away.
down for a free phone.
I didn't think anything at
like
the
one of those
time
ads on a
when I
porn
threw
site.
it away
Click here
that I
for
shouldn't have
free
until I
hookups.
watched the video. I record all my kids when they're playing baseball, football at the park. I'm
Why?
that mom that records every minute and second of their lives.
That's actually just really sweet, I'm
but
not
that's
gonna lie.
So, unfortunately, Monique threw the phone away, leaving us all to wonder just what was on that broken phone.
I mean, I can tell you it's probably planted. That looks like a fucking baby toy. It was probably just another kid playing with that phone. That is an actual Nokia brick. Bro, no one uses this. It is 2022. This is just either a prop, planned, or the world's oldest man happened to come by and drop his phone.
Wonder just what was on that broken phone. Now, I have to say that this is one of the strangest videos I've ever seen.
How?
What do you think?
I feel like he
Did
says
spirit
that
tell
once
the
a
little
video.
boy to find the phone?
This
Or just
one?
What is going on here?
Is it one of the craziest
me.
ones?
The Campbell Haunting. On their YouTube channel, Paranormal Nightmare TV series, they set out to investigate the abandoned company housing of the Youngstown Sheet and Tube Company in Campbell, Ohio. The area, consisting of 146 apartments, was built in 1918 to serve as housing for the workers at the Youngstown Steel Factory. The steel company, without warning, just closed its doors, instantly firing over 5,000 workers with no warning.
Oh man.
News we've received this morning from Youngstown Sheet and Tube is just the worst possible news that we as your elected public officials
Prime Blue and
could have received.
These workers were left with nothing and deeply in debt. Sadly, some of them saw no way out. These workers
There's a bright
tragically took their own lives right inside their company apartments.
Jesus Christ.
Hi, my name's Rocky. Can you tell me your name?
Can you stop playing that rock and roll? You won't be able to hear them
in this
respond.
house?
Exit tier 1 angry.
Did you hear that? Dude, I swear that sounded like somebody yelled Josh. I thought it was Rocky.
Josh and Sean hear someone calling Josh's name from somewhere outside.
How's that an unexplained voice?
The two brothers believe that the voice is their brother Rocky calling out to them, but they quickly realize that it's not him.
What's wrong? What happened?
Nothing. What are you doing?
Who just said
Why were you
screamed?
yelling, screaming?
I wasn't.
That was absolutely him. His voice sounds exactly the same. What are you talking about? What? They're not even trying. At least use like one of those Dollar Tree voice modulators. Make you sound like a demon or something. And why would you choose to scream? What kind of ghost are they encountering? A caveman who only knows a few words? Angry. Hungry. Sad. Why are they not even giving like the slightest attempt at all? Jesus Christ. That was absolutely him. It's the same voice. He didn't even like raise his voice or change it. Man accidentally read like the voice cues in the script, yeah.
No, I was.
It sounds just like your voice.
I was sitting up here asking questions. I had the camera on.
Oh, I see. So it's a
when you guys
shapeshifter.
walked out.
In the footage, they noticed that on the abandoned lot behind Timothy, they accidentally caught something downright chilling.
No.
And the one brother answered, and there were legs sticking out from behind the door because the other brother dropped dead, and he just left him there on the floor. Like, there was nothing to it.
She's hitting a Fortnite dance behind him. Watch out! Watch the... Oh my god! Ah! She's grooving! Is that a body wave? Orange Justice? What is that?
Whoever or whatever this is doesn't look like a normal person and seems to be ghostly white with no prominent features.
Is that even a person? Like, now I'm starting to... It just looks like one of the sticks blowing behind him. I can't even tell. It just seems like one of the like sticks from the bush. I don't know. Yeah, he could be hitting the yoinky splinky back there. What do I know? I don't have my degree in demonology.
As always, I leave it up to you to decide.
I've decided it's a very small
this
ghost.
entire investigation for over a decade, Jim Berari worked hard to find the perfect home for her wife Heather and their 6-year-old daughter Ray. She eventually found an amazing colonial home in Pennsylvania that was built in the 1700s.
Oh, that's
the
gonna
house
be
sits
really
on a 50-acre plot, but soon after the renovations were finished, strange unexplained events begin to occur on the property. They decide to install security cameras in and around their home. And late one night, their outdoor security camera captures something chilling.
A real goblin. Or perhaps even a mystical elf? Gnome? Let's see. Oh, it's a Morse code? Morse... what is it saying? Oh, it's just the guy in bath salts.
Someone or something
Did
can
he
be
fall?
seen limping along behind Jen's home. Whatever it is, it makes a very eerie and unsettling moan or screech. At first, Jen isn't sure what to believe and hopes it's just one of her friends or neighbors playing a very strange prank. But over the course of the next 3 months, the activity becomes more and more unexplained.
What kind of fucking thought process is that? That prank would have to rely like entirely on the people that live there knowing that this group has security cameras and also actively monitoring them. That's such a like specific prank. That was, again, probably just bath salts, and they fell over and had a good time.
As the events intensify inside Jen's home. And now, whatever is going on seems to start to affect her daughter, too.
Uh-oh.
I know that is not...
Oh, wait, I have that... No, I have that same pink ukulele! What does it all mean? Ah!
Don't even... Oh my god.
Oh, fuck! It's the hash slinging slasher!
I'm sorry that I cursed and... Okay. Okay, can you stop? Oh my god.
Play a Velvet
Okay,
Vic
please
record
stop.
backwards. Or listen to Tim McGraw on 2 times speed. Who is that? Oh my god!
Honey, what's going on? Baby.
I'm coming. That could have been a really good jump scare opportunity from Caleb that time.
Come here. What's up, baby? Come here.
Just hits her head on the door.
That'll take care of her.
Objects move around and fall on their own.
You've played this pink ukulele before, Caleb.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, and it's fucking haunted.
It's easily haunted.
Can you believe that shit?
Oh my god, that's creepy.
So she's being haunted by a bald man?
This clock here scared the shit out of me. Be here with me, like, whatsoever. Hello.
You got haunted by a non-bald man, Caleb. God, that gets you... I don't even know if they can see you on stream, but that was a rough one from you.
My head shot up.
That gets you every time.
This is so creepy.
This is creepy. This is scary. If this man's not bald, I swear to God.
Oh my god, Big,
Oh,
it's okay.
Fuck.
It's okay. Holy sh**.
So what do you think is going on at Jen's farm in Pennsylvania?
Oh, I think she's haunted.
Jen explains that she is currently seeking help
That's an
from
encounter with the
paranormal
fourth
professionals as she can't move out and wants her family to be safe. Japanese paranormal channel The Fourth Wall has been following the chilling story of an allegedly haunted house in Japan. Over the following year, Suzuki began to behave very strangely. One day, he told his neighbor that he was horribly sad and grief-stricken because his wife and daughter had taken their own lives. The neighbor did his best to console poor Suzuki over his devastating loss. But the thing is, the neighbor later found out that Suzuki's wife and daughter were still very much alive.
Uh-oh.
They had never taken their own
Bit of a
lives, and in
miscommunication.
fact, they were still living in the house with Suzuki.
You ever had a paranormal experience, Caleb?
No.
Do you believe in the paranormal?
I do not.
You're a fool, then. How do you explain this?
Oh my god, there couldn't be anybody behind the red side.
Don't you feel silly?
What if they were in that box?
But now, the
world's
paranormal activity
smallest
in the
ghost.
house doesn't seem to be limited to...
UFOs are a different story. All day.
Yeah, there's some wacky UFO shit. That's what I always say. I don't know why ghosts are so fucking weak. All they can do is move plates and doors. It's like super underwhelming. Never anything cool.
Do you think they move more plates in the world or more doors?
Oh, doors. Easy.
Easy.
Oh, yeah.
This is Mr. Clean reincarnate.
I don't know, he's coming back to finish his last load of laundry, I guess. What do you expect, a Yu-Gi-Oh duel? Bro, I just expect ghosts to be able to do
The
something.
water in the bathroom turns on by
Besides just
itself, and then the door
closed
closes. But most chilling of all, we see some odd white shape that seems to be moving behind the closed bathroom door.
Honestly, like, why do they
Meguro
even
is
need
alerted
doors?
to the movement
Like,
by his
here it goes,
camera
like,
monitoring
flow
app.
through it, bitch.
He goes to check the bathroom, but finds nothing
There's
there.
no need to remove these things.
Meanwhile,
They
the
don't-
paranormal
they clearly
activity
don't
in
need-
Meguro's
They do it
upstairs
to scare
bedroom
people.
has begun to intensify
warning.
as well.
If ghosts were real, what do you think the ultimate prank they could pull? They could just sell all of your shit, like, when you're asleep. Just on, like, go on to your bank or whatever and just sell all your shit or, like, deposit, withdraw it. They could fuck you up.
What if they like order things on Amazon?
Oh, like they were really helpful ghosts, like they notice you're out of toilet paper, so they order it while you're asleep.
Yeah. Or like they hate you, so they like buy you only like one ply.
Oh, true, they just sabotage. They get you, like, great value brand soap.
As Meguro, his static cameras record something absolutely horrifying.
Grind for you in RuneScape while you're sleeping. That'd be the friendliest ghost ever.
That's actually the next Casper movie.
Yeah, he just grinds RuneScape, just does agility.
That's a fucking nightmare in itself.
Yeah. Oof. Did you see it?
as
That was a
McGurl turns off the
full-blown
light
gin.
in each fourth
He's really just
wall.
throwing in like a frame there when he turns off the lights because it's easy to
Hospital
Have you
of
not?
Horrors.
Have you not watched any of these before? They pretty much all do the same thing. Literally every single one of them is exactly the same.
This is so sad.
It's so beautiful because the narrator's like, "This is perhaps one of the strangest things I've ever seen," and it's like a little goblin or something, like a little shadow going across the floor. It's fucking awesome. I love these.
I'm just gonna start like a ghost narration video.
That's what
YouTube.
Were you there at the warehouse when we tried to do that with like the haunted chair?
No.
That must have been right before you then. I wanted to do like viral TikTok scary things, so we put like a fishing line across one of the chairs and turned the lights off. And Matt yanked it when I came upstairs, and I was like, I made up a story like 15 naked cowboys died upstairs. This was their favorite chair. You could still see them cruising around. But it didn't catch on TikTok. Oh, fuck.
Halo? Ada suara di pintu ini teman-teman. Astagfirullah.
There was someone hanging.
Dulu ada suara itu merinding.
Jesus Christ.
Aduh biung. Tar dulu. Ada suara.
Soviet school.
Ada suara dari pintu. Sumpah. Di pintu ada yang gedor-gedor, Cok.
Hanging from the decaying hospital rooftop. Well, at least he jokes until something shocks him to his core.
Oh, he's gonna find arms this time?
A small gray figure can be seen standing right.
I think that's a gnome. Let me see.
A small gray figure.
Yeah, confirmed gnome.
You can tell if you actually can use the yeah, you get what I'm saying.
Whoa.
I forgot what I was gonna say.
I see you've been on more than one gnome hunt here. Your tactics for deduction are second to none, Sheriff Pinhead. Amazing.
I was gonna say you could use the Pythagorean theorem.
Yeah, the height
trig to figure out the angle of the shadow relative to the height of the flash.
Well, gnomes don't have shadows. This is actually two gnomes on top of each other.
Oh.
The one behind him is just wearing a black coat.
I see.
Yeah, I've watched a lot of gnome spotting, so I've been able to really find them in the wild now.
A figure that looks like a young girl moves out of sight behind a wall on the left.
That was nuts.
But that's not all. Because, did you see it?
No, what?
Even the Explorer Chew doesn't notice, but there is also a second large dark figure watching him from the weeds.
It was an SCP.
On the right.
It escaped.
Both of these figures seem to simply disappear into thin air on the live stream.
It's literally just the friend.
So are these the spirits of patients whose souls were never able to leave the hospital grounds? Is this creepy hanging apparition the spirit of the Dutch nurse who tragically took her own life?
God, I love these videos. I love scary YouTube videos. They're so fucking good.
Top 10 ghosts caught on camera.
My mom said don't watch these, but I'm staying up late and watching them anyway.
On YouTube over 8 years ago and were uploaded by YouTube user Marvin Kagawas. Marvin explains that after his grandmother passed away, strange, unexplained events began to occur in his family home. One night, he captures the terrifying activity on camera.
Maybe drifting. Was your sub spooky?
Alvin.
Man, I can't see shit, thank you. Now where's your old ass grandma? And why is she playing with children's toys?
Ain't funny anymore, man.
Wait, was that the... When you stub your toe and it hurts you, the Ed and Eddie one? Friends song?
Ain't funny, man.
Oh, it's so cute. Oh, there's gonna be something in the mirror. Oh my god. Grandma's trapped in the mirror. That clumsy old slut. Oh my god. She slapped the light.
When he gets back to the living room, a lamp hanging from the ceiling swirling back and forth. Marvin is just done, and he runs back upstairs to his bedroom. In another video, Marvin is playing around with the settings on his Xbox One Connect.
Well, that's where you fucked up. That actually might be haunted.
Feature and tries
Xbox One.
What he captures
Jesus Christ.
is downright chilling.
Hey you guys, I just wanted to show you guys a pretty quick feature of the Xbox One and its Connect. It actually has a pretty cool night vision that I just found today. If you guys are
the only people playing Xbox One are probably ghosts.
Show the people who don't know night vision for you guys. As you can see, it's just it lights up the.
Who the fuck is over there? Oh my god, it's a Demogorgon.
But you also have this version of the camera. I don't know what it is. I think it's either infrared or something like that.
Yeah, I think it's infrared.
And, back to the dark.
Does it come with an EMF reader?
Is my Xbox controller.
Connect EMF.
And back to night vision. It's actually, you know, pretty cool feature for the Xbox Connect that I haven't really heard of until now. Maybe they have an app for it or something like that. But yeah, thanks for watching.
Someone or something can be seen standing in the back room, but Marvin
is that my dad?
He turns off.
What the fuck is your dad doing over there?
Back on. The figure is gone.
Man's trying to make a YouTube
Marvin
video.
Says he has no idea who or what this could be. But interestingly, before Marvin's grandmother passed away, this room in the back was her sewing room. Marvin says his family moved shortly after this incident.
The room in the back was... This isn't the room in the back. That's like literally the family room. So is the whole downstairs her sewing room? And why don't you have like a whole room dedicated to sewing? What is it, like a fucking 15-room house?
This next video shows a family spending a fun day at the park somewhere in Japan. A young boy dips his feet in the water of the wading pool and trudges along the edge. But there's something else in the water.
Oh, the Loch Ness Monster. I already know it. He's gonna come out of that tunnel. That bastard. Awesome. What is a baby alien? What's down there?
Now, some superstitious viewers of the video believe that the hand belongs to a Japanese amphibious water sprite known in folklore to be a kappa.
Oh, a kappa?
Friendly. Throughout history, the little water monsters have been said to lure and drown victims.
That might actually have been a kappa.
Rivers. So could this little hand belong to a kappa?
Kappa.
Or could this be something else entirely? Late one night, Young is live on Twitch when he encounters something that sends chills down his spine.
Is it a bath salt attic? Is someone blowing an Aztec death whistle? What is that? Oh, actually I know exactly. That's a fox, right? Didn't we get to the bottom of this a while ago? Because we hear that sometimes, or we've seen that sometimes in these compilations. Those are foxes, right? Fox make those like absolutely abhorrent, awful screeching noises. Yeah, I thought so. Okay, cool. Also, Aztec death whistle. I don't know if you guys have heard that, but those things are nuts. They make a brutal sound. If I remember correctly, they used to be made out of the skulls of their enemies or something.
For Day of the Dead celebration, and also they use when they have a war.
Make the enemy shit themselves to death.
With other tribes, they play over 100 instruments, 100 dead whistles.
Next to the bitch paleo, maybe some viper, the prime
and
rat.
Make a lot of noise. So this is the dead whistle.
Isn't that shit fucking awesome? It sounds like the angry German kid.
Dead whistle.
That's pretty much what every League player sounds like when they're playing ranked. Yeah, so that's definitely a fox though. Fox make that gross noise too.
What if the enemy comes out? Why is the enemy following me?
Young and his live audience are undecided on who or what this could be. Some think
I mean, he
it
said
might just be
animal.
animals. The light
Thanks to
in the
resub
mirror.
Tinky.
Reddit user Danat Shepard related a very strange story.
Reddit.
He said that he woke up
Now
one
I know
night
I
to
can
a
trust
strange
it.
light shining somewhere in his bedroom. He grabbed his iPhone and caught the strange
The upside down
on camera. But Danat proved them wrong by posting 2 wide-angle pictures of his bedroom.
Oh my
showing
god.
that the lighted
Then it
display
is
was
real.
actually appearing in a large wardrobe mirror. Reddit users went to work examining the video, and they found what looks like a bizarre face in the reflection of the desk when the video is enhanced.
Oh fuck. It's the desk lamp ghost.
But Danat,
I mean, this is a very easy video to fake, but if you want a practical effects definition, oh, actually, he might get to it.
did Danat experience an unexplained event? Or is it all just an elaborate hoax?
I wish you would stop saying elaborate for things like this. It's a very easy thing to fake. You could edit it, obviously, but if you want an even easier, like, practical solution, he can just turn the light on when he turns the camera towards the mirror. He takes a long time going from lamp to mirror. So as he's turning the phone, he can just flick the lamp on. Like, it's super easy. Like, there's so many easy ways of faking this. It's not super elaborate. What is this, like the youngest burglar of all time? Is that the kid? Oh, I see.
The little boy backs out of the room and seems a bit startled as he looks up at something that we can't see. The light flickers and he walks away, but something seems to follow him.
Yeah, it must be Slender Man on all fours.
To look like him, but what do you think this could be?
Probably, I think it's a
Why
doppelganger.
did the TikTok account suddenly disappear? Waking up to a nightmare. The clip is chilling, but unfortunately, the source is unknown. It shows a man sleeping in bed, and then things get weird.
Whoa! He's being abducted! It's a close encounter with a third kind! Wow, he's handling this really well. He immediately meditates.
Now, I don't know who this guy is or whether the footage is real or fake.
I think it's real.
But it has terrified hundreds of viewers who found it online. So, what do you think? Is it real? Or is it all just an elaborate hoax?
Very elaborate,
decide.
actually. Perhaps.
Hospital of
And I have decided it's real.
Paranormal. It is also said that a dark demonic presence stalks the building.
Why, though?
Some even claim to have seen the gloomy apparition of an old nurse roaming the hospital halls.
But why would she?
The Extinto team splits up to explore different paranormal hotspots throughout the maternity hospital.
Don't touch my vest. That's my coat. She haunts for the views. True, but she'd get so many more views if she did a little bit more. Like, all the hauntings are super lame. She could do something really cool. If she just cared about viral videos. See, that's fucking lame. Like, why wouldn't she do something cool? Like, she could, like, run at him holding the robe. The ghost filmed it. Imagine that twist. Guys, there's something I didn't tell you. I didn't come here with a cameraman. Then the ghost just turns it on themselves. It'd be fucking nuts. What are they doing? Dragging a box across the floor? What is this noise? No one walks like that. Thanks the prime car. No! They're coming! I mean, you could just leave if you're a pussy. Thanks, Recent Hawk. Don't pray, you're gonna make the ghosts mad. Praying just attracts them to you? Yeah, I don't know what he's thinking. Ghost orbs. Ghost orbs. Oh, fuck. Why is it moaning so much? Dude really loves religion. Man, now you just wasted God's time with that prayer. He knows this is fake. You know this is fake. You've just taken some of God's time away from someone that gave a real prayer to him. Are you happy now? Asshole.
The team decides to end their investigation right there and head home.
But the facility was locked.
Investigators capture proof of ghosts
In
in
fact,
the old
the facility
hospital.
never existed.
Crazy.
Fuck, it's coming!
Just like last time, a dark figure comes out of the shadows and then disappears back into the darkness.
I didn't see that, but I heard it.
Could it be that Joe's son saw a paranormal entity? A quote, scary friend? I leave it up to you to decide.
Why is there a camera in their room? I don't know, but almost all of these videos have cameras in their bedroom, which is weird. Instead of going to help, they just go inside. I mean, this one could be real. That could just be someone in trouble. What if they could have just saved her life?
Moved into the neighborhood 4 months earlier and ran inside to keep his 14-year-old cousin safe.
Like, just at least call the police to help her. Could be sketchy, could be used for robbery. Yeah, I'm not saying they have to, like, go there physically and, like, check on her. You could just call the police and be like, hey, there's a lady here that looks like she probably needs help. Like, that could have also been someone that just escaped from, like, a captive. Someone that'd been kidnapped.
Oscar believes the woman might
that shit does happen very rarely, but still does happen sometimes. We saw that TikTok video where that happened, and it was real. Real story.
But another bonus scary video.
I have a crackhead lady who does this just outside my apartment weekly. Yeah, I mean, it could very easily be drugs, but like I said, when we were watching that, like, TikTok videos that actually had a real story behind them, there was that lady who had actually escaped from a kidnapping situation, and she was, like, beat the fuck up, screaming for help and delusional on the side of the sidewalk. And it was real. Like, she needed help. And she had her life saved. Like, it's not something that's common, but I mean, they could have at least, like, called the police to get someone out there, and I think they probably did. And they even showed, like, that comment saying, did you at least call the police? And then they came back, so I'm sure they did. Just saying. Not saying they needed to run out there and, like, pick her up like a firefighter rescuing someone from a building. We just do the bare minimum. Uh-oh. He got infected with the scarlet rot. Too close. God damn. This is getting intense. That wasn't his friend coughing. That sounded feminine. Uh-oh. It's clearly coming from behind you. Just look behind you. Stop stalling. I want to see it. I want to say hi to her. Whoa! It's the shoe ghost. No, he's fine. His shoes just came untied and he tripped.
Much for watching.
You all know that I'm a man who loves to be scared. I love the feeling of tinkling in my tight little huggies while watching scary YouTube videos, suckling on my thumb and just praying for some warm breast milk to calm me down. I usually get my horror fix from something like Nuke's Top 5s, because the only thing scarier than a ghost is 5 ghosts that'll all make you go, ARG. And during a YouTube night on stream, chat recommended someone called Mr. Nightmare, which is a channel I wasn't super familiar with. And unlike something like Nuke's Top 5 or any of the other ones where it's like, watch this video of a ghost at 3 a.m. who wiggled a plate and it was loud and scared their dog. Yikes. Mr. Nightmares is more based in reality, so it's creepy people through Ring doorbells or weird emails and rabbit holes like that, and I found it super interesting, so I wanted to share some of those with you and talk about it a bit further. Watch some Nuke's Top 5, he hasn't posted anything new. Apparently people really wanted me to watch Mr. Nightmare. They all say Nuke Top 5 is baby shit, Mr. Nightmare is the real scary stuff. So you know what, let's prove that I'm not a little milk-drinking, diaper-pissing baby. We'll watch Mr. Nightmare. 3 creepy emails.
It was titled his password that he used for every account that he had.
A ghost
this was obviously
hacker.
a cause for alarm, so he opened it immediately to read the contents of the email. I won't come after you, I won't harm you, as long as you send me a small amount of money, $5,000 in the form of Bitcoin.
Aww.
If you don't send me the money, bad things may happen. Don't even bother going to the police. This email is untraceable.
This has the same energy as a call I got when I was like 22. I had just got an apartment. I was on my own, and like it was pretty early. It was probably like within the first month or two. I got a random fucking call from a dude, and he's like, "Hey, your mom just hit my brother with her car." And I was like, "Oh my god, Mom, what are you doing? You can't, you're driving like shit out there." He's like, "Look, I'm going to need you to bring a lot of money to cover these medical bills, and I'm going to need you to bring it now." And then he gave me like a local gas station. I was like, "Okay, Jesus Christ, all right, just please, oh my God, I'll call the police." And he's like, "Don't you dare call the police, I swear to God, I don't want to get violent. But what your mom just did to my brother is unforgivable, and I'm only going to allow this to slide if you bring the money to me now over at this gas station. I'm keeping your mom here, she's safe, she's fine." I was like, "Can I talk to her?" "Nope." And I was like, "Okay, this is getting fishy," but I was still panicked. And then eventually I was like, "Hey, just give me a second." Then I called my mom and she's like, "Hey, what's up, Charles?" Like, "Hey, Mom, do you hit a kid with your car today?" She's like, "Nope." So then I went to the other guy, I was like, "Hey, man." And then I hung up. That shit works though. I guarantee if I was like a year younger, not quite as wise as 22, I would have fallen for it. I would have went right to that gas station and got my ass beat. Then I would have been pissed at my mom. I'm like, "Man, Mom, what the fuck?"
Saying, "I'm still waiting for the payment. I won't wait much longer." Joe replied this time, saying, "I'm not paying you $5,000. If you want to come to my house,
Damn,
you'll get a
Joe.
fistful of lead." This was a complete bluff though, as he doesn't actually own a gun, and the hacker likely knew that, because that same night, Joe received a follow-up email containing a picture of his house. It was the side of his parents' house, and zoomed in on his bedroom window upstairs. There was one of their decorative bricks from the front of the house, laying in the dining room among thousands of tiny shards of glass from the broken
Fuck is this,
window.
Hitman?
He added her back, where she commonly liked and commented on his posts. This
There's
went
a
on for
wholesome
while,
story. Now they're
until
married.
One day the fan professed her love for him. Years went by and he hadn't answered any of her emails after 2 of them, when he very adamantly told her to stop all communications and leave him alone.
These are pretty intense. Oh, she made a typo. 4,000 emails. How many of them are full of typos? You kidding me? You got me fucked up. Shove it where the sun don't shine, or according to In Mandy's vagina. Fuck off. Get lost, Janet motherfucking Jackson. Kiss my ass. Well, yeah, this is just mental illness. Yeah, that's rough.
He opened it, and it read, "Hey, I lost my phone and keys. Can you come pick me up? I'm by some old warehouse construction-looking building in the parking lot across from a Hyatt place."
It's a trap.
Christian asked when she last had her phone, and if she had any idea how she lost it.
Yeah, so there's nothing paranormal from Mr. Nightmare's channel, I don't think. So the first video here, the 3 creepy emails, these could be real, they could be fake. It's not uncommon for internet users to fake shit like this, and it's not like it's extremely well done. It's mainly just storytelling anyway. So like the last story that I obviously cut up is he was talking to someone he thought was Katie, and it was very fishy. Katie was telling him to meet her at a bench next to fucking Area 51, basically. And eventually the guy was like, "This might not be Katie." So then he went to where he thought Katie would be, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I just lost my phone. It's weird." So he's like, "Oh my god, that Katie was someone that stole her phone, and they were gonna shit in my face. They were gonna fuck me up, or kill me or something." And it's like, yeah, that's like a cool plot line for a story. Whether or not it really happened, there's no way of knowing. But it doesn't change the fact that it's pretty entertaining. And as far as YouTube horror goes, at the very least, these are believably well constructed. Freaky videos recorded by a Ring.
Stranger hacked into the LeMay family's Ring security system and had watched them around their home. And for nearly 10 minutes, he interacted with 8-year-old Alyssa.
What just happened? The audio just cut out? Is this part of the scare? Yeah, is the video haunted? Oh my god! He's in the mainframe!
Hello there.
She scanned the room, and moments later, the man started screaming a racial slur at her over and over, until
God.
Alyssa responded by screaming this.
What? I can hear you.
It was the
Man
infamous
proceeded
hacker
to
known
tell
as
her to
4chan.
go call her mom the racial slur and demand that she repeat it back to him.
I'm Santa Claus. You can do whatever you want right now.
Yeah, it was so
You can mess
fucking
up
weird.
Your room,
Jesus Christ.
break your TV. You can do whatever you want.
Perhaps the scariest thing is that no one knows how long he had access to the device.
So this shit's super creepy because, like the video mentions, this dude could have just had access to this ring for an extremely long time just spying on a child. It's fucking disgusting, but this actually did remind me of something that I remember from, fuck, it must have been like 2010, 2011 maybe. There was this massive security flaw in one particular webcam, I think it was, where pretty much anyone could take it over and watch people, and there was even a website dedicated to like a roulette where you go on there and you click one button and it would just go to someone else's webcam somewhere in the world and you could just watch them as they interact in their real life. It was like The Sims, but extremely fucking depraved and creepy. And that's exactly what this reminds me of, because this is pretty common for the rest of the Ring video, where hackers can just take it over seemingly effortlessly.
To speak to a young girl while she was watching television.
Jesus, how common is that?
When Adam re-enters the room and opens the fridge, the voice says, "What are
Look at the size of this guy. Bro, the hacker better hope this man doesn't find him. Holy shit. Fucking Chad Thundercock came in out of nowhere.
You hungry?
What?
He looks around at first, rightfully confused as to where the voice could be coming from, though he eventually catches on and approaches the camera as he asks, "Who is this?"
Oh man, that's a big guy. That's a big boy.
Adam disabled the camera shortly after the video ends. We see a scene that seems like it was taken straight from one of the hundreds of stories I've read on the channel.
Oh my god, I thought that was a mask.
A woman approached the front door of a Reddit user's...
Bro, that looks like the, that, like, ghost Karen? That looks like an ethereal, vengeful spirit. This looks more like some kind of paranormal sighting than any of the other, like, weird proof that, like, YouTubers make.
The woman seems to have a slight smile on her face at first, as she looks around the front door of the house all confused like.
Is that a wand or a knife?
She stands there for 2 full minutes at least, acting nervous and confused, looking behind her several times in a paranoid manner. It would still be hard to imagine just how scary this would be for the owner of the house, waking up in the middle of the night to this footage from his doorbell camera.
I don't know, man. That looks more like
Surveillance
drug-related
cameras
to
in
me,
general have
but
come a
I'm no
long way in
expert.
providing security to people's properties.
Having the Ring doorbell here probably saved this homeowner's life. I bet if he did open that door, she probably would have stabbed him. Now, this could be related to, like, dementia or something. It's entirely possible, but it is still a dangerous situation, and the homeowner having the footage and knowing to avoid opening the door was probably a really important thing. I think video doorbells are just, like, a genuinely good thing to have. It'll help if, like, your package gets stolen or something, or, you know, sometimes you get some goofy footage. Like, I saw something on Reddit where 2 grasshoppers landed in front of the Ring doorbell and started mating, so they got, like, a whole goddamn production there out of it. And then there was also that viral video where there was the guy going around licking Ring doorbells or something like that, like they were lollipops. And unfortunately, the guy looked like me with short hair. I assure you it wasn't me or anything like that. But it's also super helpful in situations like this. Because like I said, if this guy did open the door, things could have got really bad super quickly. So yeah, the Mr. Nightmare channel actually surprised me because I was expecting more just shitty, low-effort YouTube horror stuff. But the guy compiled legitimate stories, or what could be legitimate stories, and then real footage like here. I had no idea Ring doorbells could even be hacked so easily, but it seems pretty commonplace. So I guess that's also a PSA to everyone out there to change the password on your Ring doorbell instead of just go with the factory default. And yeah, just wanted to share this because I thought it was just a good channel that had some good content. That's about it. So yeah.